No, I'm not gonna do a workshop stream today. Actually, I need to look at my calendar. When do I have time? I might do it next week. Technically, I should do one for this month, even though we got the update, so... We're gonna do it on the second week. Or not on the second week, the week at the fourth week. Fourth week? Yeah, fourth week of December. We'll do it sometime next week. We'll do it sometime next week. So I asked my channel, I asked my main channel, hey, you know, what do you guys think of me doing all this live streaming stuff now that I've not been on Twitch for a while? And I got some mixed reviews. Like I had some people say, hey, you know, I don't mind seeing all the stream VODs in my sub feed. And then I had other people say, yeah, you stream too much, you know, I liked it better when you didn't stream so often. And so it's getting annoying whenever I see the notifications or whenever stuff pops up in the sub box. And I'm like, you know what? I think a healthier compromise is, instead of like moving back over to Twitch because I fucking hate it, figured I may as well just keep all my streams on my second channel for now, because it's actually kind of more appropriate, because it was fun doing it on my main channel for a while because that's where my main audience is. But at least on my second channel, I'm not redirecting everyone to another website to watch me go live. So that's at least nice. And for the people who really care about me, you know, streaming, then they can come over here. And for the people that don't care, then they can just stay on my main channel instead of having to see it thrust in their faces whenever I go live. So I think that's the best compromise. And whenever I do my workshop streams, I don't have to worry about recording the VOD and then uploading it onto my second channel, because it's just going to be automatically archived whenever I go live here. So, yeah, I think that's the smartest thing to do, is to do all my streams on my second channel. From here on forward. Can I sign your minigun? Of course I can. Just send me a trade offer, and make sure you include gift wrap. And also make sure that you don't have a trade hold. That's something else people forget too. It's like, if you have a 15-day trade hold, then I really don't want to wait that long to like sign your item, because I'm gonna forget, and then inevitably it's gonna pop up in my inventory, and then it's gonna be 30 days before I can get your item back to you. So if you have a ridiculous trade hold, then I really don't want to mess with it. So sorry, because it just adds a lot of time and kind of an annoying headache, because I do get a lot of people who want me to sign stuff. How's everyone doing today? Everyone doing alright? Everyone doing good? What is today, Tuesday? Today's Tuesday. Yes, today is Tuesday. Tuesday. Do I sign anybody's items? Yeah, I don't care. It doesn't matter if you want me to sign something, I'll sign it. I don't care who you are. Just send in your stuff. Send in your stuff. What's going on about the Twitter stuff? Yeah, I mean, I guess that's the main reason why I decided to go live today, is because it's already a mistake. I hope everyone understands this, right? Like, me even attempting to defend myself is always a mistake. It's never a good thing to try to do, because it doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter, because ultimately the people who already know it's bullshit don't care, and then the people who are going crazy about the drama won't be convinced otherwise, or just won't care to listen. So ultimately it's a waste of my time, and it's a waste of everyone else's time. And I don't know, but something in me just it's just in my nature, and I acknowledge it. I can't help but try to defend myself, because when people are spreading very, very egregious accusations and just really horrible shit about me that is just not true, like, I mean, I have to put my foot down. It's really fucked up, honestly. So I can talk about it in a little while, or if I want to. Or if people want me to talk about it out of the gate, then I can just do that right away. If people would prefer, I don't know. If Solarlight wanted to sign my stuff, would I do it? I mean, yeah, he's in love with me. We're bros. We're total bros, you know. We acknowledge each other quite often. We acknowledge that we are both sexy beasts. He wants me to sign something, by all means. Send it my way. Thing is, like, here's the problem. It would be one thing if it was bait, right? Like, bait used to be believable, right? I'm sure everyone's seen that fucking meme, you know, like bait used to be believable. Bait used to be a real thing that you can throw out there and hello? Focus? Focus? Webcam? Hello? Focus? Is this gonna work? I guess my webcam is just not gonna focus on me today. Hello? Oh, there it goes. Okay, now it finally decided to work for whatever reason. So. Wipe lens? I don't know if wiping the lens will help with this thing. It's a really old webcam at this stage. Actually, that kind of helped, didn't it? It helped a little bit. Not much. It's pretty grainy. I need to get one of those standalone webcams or standalone video cameras and then have that set up so I can have a better I can have a higher quality image of myself going on the screen. But right now I'm using a shitty Logitech webcam with a horrible microphone. Like, you know the meme with like the really terrible Xbox microphones, right? Like the really bad Xbox microphones that you peak them so hard and they sound like, you know, someone dragging a toaster through a gravel pit. That's what this mic sounds like. It's really bad. That's also really funny. So. Anyways, I need to play the video game today because I need a lot of footage. I need a lot of footage so I can keep working on my current video. Then I'm gonna do the mistake of queuing for casual, but it's what I'll start with. No, the webcam is here. I'll leave it on. Can I say my hot take on TF2? You're too late. I'm afraid you're too late. All of the hot takes have been chosen. The video has been recorded. Right now, I'm just putting it all together. I just gotta do the editing. The only problem is I just don't have enough background footage. I gotta get the background footage first. Yeah, if casual ends up being ass, then I'll just redirect everyone to my server, and then we can just play on there. It was a lot of fun the last time. The only problem is that when you have a ton of people trying to join at once, then the server hitches, and for whatever reason, it caps out at like 20 people and just will not work. My game crashed. Awesome. So, maybe that is a sign that I should have everyone join my server. What do you think? I think that might be a better idea. Let's try that. TF2 servers, copy. Alright, let me get everyone in here. Let's see, there we go. Come play the game too. Sorry for everyone in the Discord getting a shitload of pings, but come play the game too. Come into the server. Oh, don't worry. I'm fully aware of what Twitter's been doing over the past couple of days, and we'll get to that later on. We'll get to that, but initially I want to play the game for a little bit. No, I want to abandon this. Yes, abandon. Stream is very delayed today. Oh shit, I didn't... I don't think I can change my stream delay on the fly, can't I? Oh, I didn't do that. Son of a bitch. Okay, well, that's a problem. Yeah, so you'll have to bear with the stream delay for today, I'm afraid, because I forgot to put it on low latency mode. But as a bonus, you're gonna have a very high quality stream. Anyway. Get in here. Fill this bad boy up. Fun first, then despair later. Yeah, maybe that's probably the right way to go about it, but who knows? We'll see. God, I hate this map so much, but we'll play on it. Why am I playing on community servers? Because this is my community server. Because this is my normal vanilla TF2 server, where it's just the normal game. That's it.
Mission begins in 30 seconds.
It's just the normal game. Actually, I realized what I need to be doing is I need to be playing Soldier. Soldier with the Cow Mangler, thank you. Would I ever consider drafting up some TF2 balance ideas? If so, what would be some balance ideas or reworks both weapons and classes? Ugh, God. I mean, coming up with something on the fly for the game is incredibly difficult. I don't know what I would do, honestly. I mean, I have suggestions for existing weapons, but for something entirely new, I would have to really sit down and think about it. I mean, I was on a podcast a couple days ago where we were discussing adding new items for the spy. Like something that adds more tools to his kit, so he does fit more into the role of the sneaky espionage class. So that might be, that's something to consider. Here, peek. Aw, man, that would have been great. If I had held off for a millisecond more, would have got him. See, I'm iffy on the Cow Mangler because you can be just as effective with stock without gimping yourself against engineer. And within an environment that is very ammo-rich, you never really have to worry about the weapon's main downside, which is, you know, having to reload and use ammo. I'm talking about stock in that regard. So, oop, hit the wrong button. Party. Didn't even realize that was an option. Have I got any of the new cosmetics? I got the top hat. I got the generic top hat. No, yeah, there are people that care, and I will get to it. I'm gonna let the stream kind of fill up a little bit before I talk about any of it, because if I don't want to have to repeat myself 100 times, I'm gonna go through everything once, and then that's it. Nothing else. That's all she wrote. And if you miss it, you miss it. I'm not gonna say it 100 times, alright? So we'll give it a few people. A few minutes. For more people to roll in. Another simple... Oh yes, another backpack item for Sniper. And what will that one do? Will it also negate something that somewhat resembles a counter? Just like all of his other secondaries do? All of his other backpacks do? Sure. Fuck it, let's just give him a backpack that triples his health. Why not? Ooh, God. This little cubby here is useful. Pyromask price is very unstable, but it remains expensive. Which is kind of nice to see, because whenever you see an item that is valuable, that is not an elite grade, that's a good sign that people like it, which is a really good thing. We need more items added to TF2 that people really enjoy. And the price point is typically very much reflective of its popularity. Artificial rarity does play into that. That's a part of it. But it's a good thing to see that the interest is growing in the new items, and it makes me very happy. Because item quality and selections have been improving over the past couple of years, which is awesome. A backpack that makes Sniper immune to headshots reminds me of the old Darwin's Danger Shield. The old Darwin's Danger Shield, which gave you, what was it, like a 10? Was it a 10% bullet resistance, I think? Which, yeah, it was a 10% bullet resistance, and it increased your max health by 25. So headshots would leave you at 15, and then if you had overheal, well, you know, good luck. Should probably turn off my voice chat. Voice underscore enable voice enable 0. Okay. What's my opinions on stun mechanics? I fucking hate them. One of the main reasons why I can't stand games like Overwatch. I don't like games that punish your movement. The fucking... Get out of here. You're not welcome. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Ah! Give Sniper a backpack that packs backs. In a way, allow him to tank multiple... Fuck. Allow him to tank multiple backstabs. Because he has multiple backs to spare. That works. Opinions on Lethal Company? I think it's fucking great. It is so fun. I don't care if people say, oh, it's a fucking Zoomer game. I fucking love it. I think it's hilarious. It is super fun. You know what? If only I aimed up by a hair. Oh, he's standing still. He's standing still. Will I reopen my Discord chat? Probably not. Up, Monkey got it. That's a useful clip. That can go in my video. God. Thank you, Monkey. No, I mean, I have my notification Discord, and every now and again I open it for people to talk and hang out, but it's not a permanent thing because primarily I don't want to have to moderate a second Discord, so. No, yeah, Monkey opened his new Warpaint Discord, which is fantastic. Hopefully it's a place where people can get some good work done, get good feedback on their work, and make good items. Yeah, I'm attempting to collect Cow Mangler clips. I'm working on it. Just gonna engage in some ground game here. And don't worry, I'll get to all the juicy drama. I'm sure that's why people are here. We'll get to it, and we'll just give it a few minutes, all right? Let me play a round of TF2 or 2, just so I can, you know, feel a little bit like I'm having some fun before I delve into all that nonsense. Get out of here. Monkey annihilated. Damn, this fucking ballsy-ass engineer. Get out of here. I mean, thing is, like, the only reason why I'm going to address it is because I feel like I owe it to the people who genuinely care and are like, wow, is this real? Because the people who couldn't be convinced otherwise or couldn't be told otherwise are not going to pay attention anyways, right? They don't care. But for the people who are, like, genuine fans of mine, then, yeah, I owe them that much. I owe them that much. Why does drama come for me? Because I can't keep my mouth shut on sensitive topics, even though I believe I share an innocuous opinion on something, then it just blows up in my face. Like, this time I didn't even say anything on Twitter. Someone hate-watched the entirety of my live stream and cherry-picked some shit to get mad at. Am I surprised by that? No. You know what? I want to use a shotgun. That's what I want to do. Don't worry. We'll get to everything. All right. We'll get to everything. Just bear with me. People are gonna slowly roll in here, and again, I want as many people in here as possible before I start, because I don't want to have to, like, repeat everything 100 times. And then the VOD will be up for everyone to go back and watch and reference in the full glory of its context. Because people will also inevitably clip things out of context in this stream in an attempt to, like, you know, be angry. What if I ignore the hate? See, like, I can ignore people hating on me. I'm used to that. But when it comes to really, really serious allegations that are, like, accusing someone of the worst thing possible, or even insinuating that, is just immensely fucked. And I can't just, like, let that slide. So... Stop lying, everyone knows you like oily men. Alright, well. I don't know. I think that might be as populated as it gets. Everyone can keep playing on the server. I'll dive back in. I'll dive back in. So I think the best way to go through all of this shit is to do like a timeline, I guess. I don't know. So let me start with the clip on Twitch that got me into, like, or not Twitch, on YouTube, that got me into, like, really hot water. So new incognito tab. Like, I'll start with this, right? So I said this. Oh, fuck off. So, I said this on my stream some time ago, alright? So, actually, no, first things first. When I was doing this live stream, right? When I was doing this live stream, I was going through all of the new content for the Smithmas update, and I did my bingo card, I went through all of the items and what have you, and then, after I finished doing that, I decided to go buy some of the new cases off the community market because I wanted to open some. So I want to get some cases, I want to get some keys, and I accidentally doxed myself because whenever you buy something from the community market, it flashes your entire name and address onto the screen. And because I doxed myself, and the people who were there can vouch for me because, you know, I immediately started, like, making a joke of, like, hey, don't, like, and don't go, like, start sending pizzas to... It was also an old address, it wasn't mine. It was an old address, it was my previous apartment that I still use. It wasn't my current address, but it is still currently someone's address, right? And because it is still someone's current address, I didn't want to leave that on there. So I went back and I deleted that part of the VOD. I deleted the second half of the VOD, which contained me doxing my old address, which someone currently lives at. And then the whole joke is like, oh yeah, guys, don't go send this address a bunch of pizzas, you know? Because knowing someone, if I didn't immediately clarify that that's not my current address, then Lord knows what someone would have done given what happened last year. So, that is the truth. That's why I deleted the second half of my VOD. But also in the second half of my VOD, someone told me about the door, right? Like, someone told me about the door that has, what is it, trans W right, or whatever the name is on there. So, so someone told me it was there. I booted up the map, and I went to go look for it, because I wasn't sure if it was actually there. Anyways, I go look for it.
Eric Smith.
This is what I said, so I'll just let it play out.
Oh, there it is.
Come on, guys. Again, my stance on this is that it's really not appropriate to add any of this stuff into the game. You really shouldn't be trying to inject your sociopolitics inside of TF2 or any other video game. The video game is not here to represent you, no matter who you are or what you stand for. I don't think it should be allowed. Don't try to inject this shit in your game. I don't think it's okay. But I'm sure all these people are laughing all the way to the bank because they're getting paid for it, so... Anyway, that's my take on that. Don't do that
My
shit.
face is in the way of my
And that goes
face.
for anything, right? That goes for anything. It goes for no matter what your sociopolitics are. don't put that shit in video games, all right? Simple as that. Simple as. Okay? And I still stand by that. It doesn't matter what the message is. It doesn't matter what current social movement or political movement it is. I don't think it belongs inside of Team Fortress 2. It doesn't serve to act as this soapbox for whatever it is. It doesn't exist to represent you. It exists to be the product that it is. And because I said that, apparently people think I take some issue with the message that is carried by saying trans rights. I don't care. I don't care if you're transgender. I don't care what gender you are. I don't care how you live your life. I respect everyone as my fellow human being. I really don't care how you live your life. But I don't think it belongs in TF2, and I don't think it belongs in video games unless their purpose is to be political, or if their purpose is to, address some social issue, and those pieces of media do exist. But TF2 is not that, and it should not exist to be that. That's just my opinion, all right? And apparently, because I've said this, now Twitter is doing what Twitter does best, and apparently they believe that I now call for the deaths of all transgender people, and that I'm going crazy. And they say it's not injecting sociopolitics, but I dare anyone to go and look at all of the discourse surrounding this and tell me with a straight, bold face that those two words of trans rights are not the most sensitive piece of social discourse that is happening right now. Tell me that with a straight face after looking at the massive explosion that this caused, all right? You can say it's for showing your support, and you know what? That's fine. If you want to show your support for your group, I think that's okay. You can show your support in many ways, but I don't think it's appropriate to have it be a permanent addition to the product, right? You can go and, cheer and rah-rah all you want. TF2 is not the place for that. There's a more appropriate time and place for all of it, right? There's a more appropriate time and place for having these conversations. And Team Fortress 2 is not that. And it shouldn't become to do that, in my opinion. And I don't like it. And then again, that's for anything. It's for any social topic. It's for any piece of political melodrama, whatever it is. Keep it outside of TF2, right? Again, the game does not exist to represent or affirm you, no matter what it is you're trying to put in there, okay? Yeah. And then the next thing I want to point out is, I need to pardon me as I dig for this, because I have to scroll back up and I have to find this, so bear with me for a moment. So I would be even more okay, I'd be less, perturbed by this. Let me see, I have to find this specific, here we go. See, I'd be way less perturbed by this, right? So here's something else. When this map was first uploaded to the workshop, the door wasn't a thing. The trans W right wasn't on the door. It was later on retroactively added to the map with, at least according to this screenshot, was the specific intention to elicit a negative response out of people, including me, right? He says, make Zesty Jesus so angry he has an aneurysm. If it gets in the game, I think that'll happen. I also added this into my maps, so this just proves it was added after the fact. But I don't think he's noticed yet. So, to me, this is showing that they did not add this even from a place of good intention. They added this specifically to create further discontent and further rifts inside of the player base. It wasn't just added to put, hey, we're here to represent the people we care about so much. To me, this map creator put this in here with the intention to, be divisive and to get a rise out of people. And I guess it's working because I'm talking about it. I don't know. But this pissed me off because, I would care so much less. It's okay, you put this in here as your representation. I still don't think it belongs, but at least it didn't come from malicious reasons, right? It came from it could come from the heart, whatever, right? There's the same reason why people want to put their pets in the game, or the same reason why they want to do what have you, right? don't think that's appropriate either, but it's coming from the heart, right? It's coming from the heart, but here they're doing it simply for the sake of sowing anger, and it's even more fucked up that this is the source of it, right? And it could have been for anything. It could have been for, I don't know, some other piece of activism. I don't know. It could have been for any of it, but the fact it came from this negative place is just not good either, right? So, anyway, so there's that. So, I said my piece. I said what I said, and then, can I even, get to the rest of this thread? I don't think I can. Hold on, I have to, finagle all the way through. Yeah, so... Yeah, and then this guy, who is a member of the Emporium. Actually, no, I have to go back a little bit further. So, initially, what happened was someone took that clip and then said this, right? Watched Orange Man's recent slop stream rating the Smithmas update, and the clip of him, apparently me losing my mind over the door, and I checked it's mysterious and not present, checked the comments, and the first thing I see is bro literally trying to avoid consequences of being outed. Being outed for what? My stance on all of these things not belonging in the game, regardless of what they are, right? That's my stance. And again, it's like I hate that I have to keep repeating it. It's for everything, not just the trans right thing. It's really annoying. But whatever. Anyways, this perturbed me because, hey, this guy is blatantly lying about me, losing my mind over this clip. And he posted this just for the sake of getting some likes on Twitter, whatever. And then I said, hey, man, I deleted the part of the VOD because I did accidentally dox myself. And yeah, I could have gone back and just removed the snippet where I do dox myself, but I'm a lazy motherfucker and I just cut the rest out. And the thing is, it's oh, well, if I was really trying to hide this original clip, it's only a minute long. If I was really trying to hide this, then why wouldn't have I gone back and just cut that out, right? Why wouldn't have I gone back and just clipped that out and then left the rest? No, I removed the second half of the VOD because, one, I'm lazy, and two, I doxed myself. If I genuinely cared that much and didn't care about being doxed, as some people are saying, then I would have just snipped this out. But not like it mattered. Someone clipped it anyway, and it's out there for everyone to see. So, whatever. Anyways, I say, hey man, I know you don't like me, but please don't make things up for the sake of reactionary outrage, and he eventually relented and deleted his tweets, and he left something that loosely resembled an apology, I think. I mean, I won't pull that up because this isn't about him. But anyways, this workshop guy eventually quote-tweeted this with this message here. He just said this, right? Trust me, guys, I didn't delete the VOD because it outed me as standing against trans rights being represented in-game. It was because I accidentally doxed myself, so decidedly we conveniently deleted the entire part instead of just the doxing bit. For the reasons I just explained and again, if I was really trying to hide that, why didn't I just snip out that part of the stream? Anyway, so apparently I am now Hitler, and all the people who watch me are now Hitler, and we're all Adolf Hitlers, guys, according to this individual. And again, it's not me standing against trans rights being represented in-game, it's me standing against any kind of major social issue or major political issue, socio-political, that's why I use that word, from being addressed in the game. The game is not a mouthpiece for this. It should exist to be the video game, and that's it. It's why you shouldn't try to, lace this stuff into Kirby or Super Mario, because they exist to be Kirby, they exist to be Super Mario. Video games are an escape from this reality for many people, where it's we don't want to have to engage in these discourses that are just everywhere in reality right now. It's anyway. So, they immediately poisoned the well by me saying that I'm standing against trans rights, and again, I have to repeat myself another time. Hey, I don't care what you are, man. If you're transgender, I mean, you live your life, dude. You live your life. I'm really not all that swept up in politics. I'm not really swept up in the whole movement thing. I know it's a hot button issue, right? I know it's a hot button issue. There's a lot of shit going on. I don't keep up with it because it's not relevant in my life. Whatever, right? But I'm not against people being treated equally. I'm not against respecting your fellow man as human. I have nothing against that. But apparently, because I don't want these conversations being held inside of TF2, that means that I'm standing against trans rights, and I'm standing against transgender people. It's like, it's this really annoying, reductive argument that does nothing for you. It doesn't help you. Like, if you really wanted to have representations and conversations, why are you demonizing me? Why not, like, reach out and say, hey, why not talk with me? Why not engage in some legitimate constructive discourse instead of just going for insane reactionary outrage? And it gets worse. It doesn't get any better anyways. So he goes on to say that I don't agree with it, whatever. And then, can I view post engagements? I can't. I have to do it over here. It's so annoying. And then, view post engagements. And then I have to scroll to find it because it's now very much buried somewhere. Okay, now it's not even showing it anymore. Hello? Let me do this. Twitter and or X being very buggy. Challenge realized once more. View post engagements. Here we go. And let's see. Here we go. So then this guy made this tweet. All right. So he made this tweet. And this is the one that really got the ball rolling with everything. So he says that I defend people running around in-game with swastikas because it's their right to free speech, but that right to free speech doesn't cover map makers making a joke in support for civil rights because it's political. How does that work exactly? So he makes a false equivalency argument for the sake of another bit of reactionary outrage. So here's the thing. When it comes to decals and it comes to sprays and it comes to text chat and voice chat, I believe everything should be allowed. It doesn't matter what it is, so long as it isn't illegal. That has always been Valve's stance ever since they implemented these features inside of TF2, right? And that includes swastikas, but that also includes pride flags. That includes funny cat pictures or memes or anime. It doesn't matter what it is. That is what free speech is for. It's for all of it, right? And just because I think people should be allowed to say these things or be allowed to have them on their objector, that doesn't automatically mean I condone the ideas behind the symbolism, right? Just because I think it's okay for someone to have the funny windmill, or because I believe it's okay for someone to have a pride flag, that doesn't automatically mean that I agree everything that those things stand for, right? It's a wild and very stupid thing to even pose. You know, it's like, and apparently, I'm gonna make an implication here because he's complaining that I'm calling for free speech. Does this mean he also wants free speech to happen? So even he should understand that if he wants everything to be allowed, that you're not going to automatically agree with everything that people say, right? That's always been my stance on decals. It's always been my stance on decals and sprays, text chat and voice chat, period. All of it's allowed. Doesn't matter what it is, so long as it is not illegal, all right? That's why it's not illegal. I mean, that's why, anyway, that's my point, okay? That's my point. Anyway, so people take this and then go fucking haywire, and it just, people just share this into oblivion, and then you just have the usual discourse of people saying, oh, well, Zesty apparently hates all transgender people, and he wishes for all minorities to die, and it's just very annoying. It's free speech unless we don't like it, then it's hate speech. But hate speech is still part of speech, and hate is subjective. Being offended is subjective. All of it should be allowed, right? And I will also repeat myself here, that decals should have a toggle. I do agree with that sentiment. I believe it should have a toggle just like every other form of player communication inside of TF2. I believe that objectors, sprays, text chat, and voice chat are all forms of player communication. The reason for that is because these are very short-term period things that you'll never see again outside of that temporary player interaction. And you cannot equate that to a permanent addition in the form of an asset on a TF2 map because it's now part of the product. A map inside of TF2 is not a form of speech. It's a piece of the product, right? It's like, and if a map is a part of speech, it means that everyone can have a map put in TF2 and everyone can have a map be their mouthpiece, when that's simply not true, right? A piece of the product is not the same as a form of communication, and that's why I don't think it should be allowed, but that's why I think you should be okay. It's okay to have it in your sprays and your decals and whatever, because those are forms of player communication. But when it becomes a part of the product, that's where I draw the line, because again, this product does not exist to be your mouthpiece. And I will stand by that, okay? I'll stand by that, and if people get pissed off at it, so be it. Whatever. I don't care. And it's very annoying because, like, oh, well, Zesty is okay for free speech until it has something he doesn't like. No. I think like any form of speech and communication is okay so long as it's open for everyone to say whatever they want, no matter how offensive it is to another human being. All of it should be allowed, because what does that enable? That enables discussions. That enables discourse. You don't just shut down someone for having a dissenting stance on something and demonize them as this monster. In my opinion, you should try to communicate, reach out, and be reasonable? Fuck. Oh my god. Anyway, so yeah. It's apples and oranges comparing an objector and comparing a map. It's a false equivalence. But of course, now people took this and said, "Oh, I'm a Nazi and I support Nazis," and you know, all the usual stuff that gets roped up in it, what have you. And now and you know, what else is new? And Twitter being Twitter, okay? And eventually, at some point, I don't know when someone did this, but at some point, someone paid for Patreon access into my Discord so they could go through all of my messages and try to pull out stuff that would otherwise incriminate me for something egregious. And so what they did is they found, let's see, I hate that I can't, like, look at the whole thread unless I'm logged in, and I'd prefer for people to not see my alt. So here we go. Anyway, so this popped up, okay? This whole, you know, me posting this GIF apparently now makes me a pedophile, is the argument they're going for here. And we were, like, joking around at midnight on, like, this all happened over the course of, like, 15 minutes on one day, where I'm like, oh, hey, look, you know, my friend is talking about his favorite character inside of, what is it, Deltarune, you know, and I post this GIF, you know, haha, cunny, and now apparently I'm a raging pedophile, which is fucking insane, and because my friend gifted me this emoji, this objector with the crying emoji, it's not even mine, my friend gifted that to me, and I had it in my loadout in this video, and I don't know, because it has the connotation of being paired with lolicon, then apparently now I'm a lolicon, which I can assure you I'm not. I was only saying these as jokes. Distasteful jokes? Sure, whatever, but you can take 2 seconds, scroll through my Twitter feed, scroll through my likes on Twitter, and I can assure you that I am the furthest thing from a lolicon, and in my opinion, if you're into lolicon, then you should be sent to the deepest, coldest pit in Siberia, along with the rest of the pedophiles. Because if you are sexually attracted to something that looks like a child, even in fiction, something's wrong. Something's wrong. So, that's my stance on it. I'll probably get hate for that as well, but here inside of this Discord, we were just joking around, you know, because, like, for those of you that don't know the full context of this, the origin of this, right? The origin of this was, I think it was some artist or it was someone on Twitter responding to, it was a piece of lolicon art on Twitter. Someone responded to it with, like, crying emoji, like, whoa, bratty, what have you. And that tweet from that creep exploded into this huge fucking meme. It was this massive fucking meme. People were making fun of it. People were joking about it. And people still make jokes about it even until now, right? People still use it as a gag or a joke. And, like, they said, like, hold on, like, when people posted it to Reddit and were fucking, you know, jumping on this train. Let me find this fucking screenshot. It's somewhere in here. Let me find it. Here we go. See, you had people in that Reddit thread who were doing the same thing. Whoa, cosmetic and war paint, great correction is needed. Bratty prop hunt seducing older map makers into sinful debauchery. Oh, fuck. That's horrible. But it's a joke! It's a fucking joke, and we were joking about the goddamn deer character from Deltarune. You know, I apparently, because we're joking about this, are these two Reddit users also pedophiles? Like, to me, it's a wild accusation to make that if I use this in a joking context as distasteful or whatever as it is, it's just a joke. And if I post a GIF once, like I posted this GIF once, again, this entire conversation, because he decided, like, here's the context, from 12:09 to 12:11, over the course of 2 minutes, right? And then 9 minutes prior, like, my friend posts this, and then I respond at midnight, you know, oh, it's the dunny. It's just a fucking joke. But apparently this funny gag conversation that happened on midnight on a Sunday, or I think it was a Sunday or whatever, apparently because this happened, I guess, apparently I'm a pedophile now. It's fucking wild. Like, you can't even, like, make jokes about these things before people just start labeling you of all this crazy shit. You know? To me, it's insane. It's fucking insanity. And again, take 2 seconds to look at the art I commission. Take a look at the, and just, I will say, not safe for work warning. Not safe for work warning. All of the art that I commission, all of the posts that I like, it's very evident that I'm not into this shit. Plain and simple. Like, that should be painfully obvious from what I'm into and very publicly into on my Twitter. So. And I think that covers everything. I think that's all of it. Did I forget anything, chat? Did I miss something? I don't think I missed anything, did I? Still creepy as hell, especially since you have a lot of half-naked art of a 14-year-old. No, I don't. I commission art of my own character, from which I adopted some aesthetic elements like the eye patch, her hair color, and the hair clips. I took those things from her design, but otherwise, it's an entirely different character. She is an adult. She looks like an adult. Very clearly, if you go look at the art I've commissioned of her, it's not the same character. So, I mean, what else needs to be said? I feel like, I mean, I already know it was a mistake to even, like, attempt to defend myself. People are gonna go fucking hog wild on all of this, but whatever. No, yeah, people are saying Asuka is my OC and my character that I use when it's not. It's a character of my own creation. So, I can assure you that I'm not a pedophile. If they're really using me posting a GIF and having an objector with the crying emoji, again, a gift from a friend, as evidence for me being fucking a pedophile, then, like, oh my god. Welcome to this modern day and age. What's her name? My character's name is just Zess, because I'm lazy. I'm just lazy. I'm lazy with names, so I just use the first half of my fucking screen name. No, I'm sure, I mean, yeah, the stream only has 42 likes, but it's gonna be a lot worse. Like, it's gonna be mostly downvotes because it's still in the heat of all the discourse, you know? But whatever. Hang on, I got a message I have to answer to. I got a text. Give me a moment. Okay. Is my server broken? It could just be your connection, because I wasn't having any problems with it. Think you dug yourself deeper? I mean, whatever, man. Again, I know it was my own mistake for even wanting to defend myself, but I just... whatever. Let's put this all to rest. As your fellow human beings, do you believe that trans people deserve respect and rights recognizing them? I believe that transgender people should be respected at the same level as everyone else. Plain and simple. They are your fellow man. It doesn't matter if you're transgender. It doesn't matter if you're gay. It doesn't matter if you have a third arm. We're all human beings, and we should all be respected at the same level and treated as your fellow man with all the same shit. So that's my stance. It doesn't matter what you are. I've never cared. I've never cared. And this is something I've said for years. This is something I've said for years now. Like, from all of my previous controversies, every time I would put out my twitlongers and shit, I've always said this. I've always said it. But everyone ignores it. That I do not care. I don't care what you are. I don't give a shit what you are. Period. I've never cared. I wasn't making a joke about a kid. I was making a joke about a fucking deer. Yeah, it is a little annoying that, like, you know, like this is what we have now for TF2 is like this is all we have left is just drama. So no, I know. I'm not streaming this. I'm not streaming this to I'm not talking to the people on Twitter. I'm talking to the people who follow me and who are seeing this and want context, because Twitter gives none of it. Twitter gives absolutely none. It's all being funneled through a very narrow lens, little snippets and things like that. So, hey, Overlord, man, I just want to say, and this is the only thing I'll say to you, I really don't appreciate you twisting and putting words in my mouth for the sake of a reactionary dogpiling thing, right? You and I both know that I defend anything being put on an objector or a spray or whatever. Doesn't matter what it is. And you and I both know that just because you allow for something to be said doesn't mean that you automatically agree with it. That's what free speech is. So, what you did was really shitty, man, and I really don't appreciate it. And I gave you, and then listen, I gave you the benefit of the doubt. I tried talking to you in DMs, man, but you never tried. You never tried to have a conversation with me. This was ultimately all you cared about, was just trying to paint me as this fucking monster, man. But, well, I mean, I guess you got there in the end, because, you know, Twitter doing what Twitter does best. Yeah, it's a very, very bad faith argument to make. To just automatically say, oh, he supports Hitler and swastikas. It's insanity, man. It really is. Like, that is a wild... It's a wild accusation to make that doesn't even address the original... That doesn't even address the original thing. Right? It doesn't even address the original conversation at hand. And then you immediately deflect into painting me as a literal Nazi, and which is like... For anyone who, like, just goes out of their way and interacts or just sees what I do, it's just like, Jesus, man. I'm obviously not these things. No, I mean, I ask myself the same thing often, like, what the fuck has happened with the TF2 community? Like, what's happened? This is where we are now, where we really have nothing left. This is all we have left. We're just tearing each other apart. I don't know why you still put up with the community, because I care about this game. I love this game. I've been playing it for 13 years. I want to see it thrive again. I want to see it have content, you know? See, Everett, it's like, then you come in here, and then it's like, you're gloating. It's like, oh, you blame Overlord when I was the one that made the original thread calling your fan base Nazis. It's like, I don't understand why you take some sick sense of satisfaction in that. It's really fucked up. It's like, we're obviously not these Nazis that want to go out and fucking destroy people. It's just really awful. Like, oh my god, man. It's like, and then the gall you have to come in here and say like, hey, it was me, I was the guy. Like, why would you do this? Why would you just, like, lie? It's like, what, people lie on the internet? It's like, again, an incredibly disingenuous thing to do. It's like, oh, you're all Nazis, and I know what his real intentions are. Like, God almighty, man. Not that you care, you got what you wanted out of it. Everett, you both are. Like, Everett started it, and you know, you started it, and then he ran with it, and you both did it, right? It's like, you both deserve pieces of the blame here. And honestly, it's like, I think you owe me an apology. I really do. It's like, oh, Zesty, the victim, is now calling for an apology. Like, I really think you do, because you just blatantly lied with malicious intent to, like, try and destroy me on Twitter. It's like, you knew what you were doing. It's really fucked up from both of you. When have I ever done that to you guys? When have I ever done it to anybody? All I've ever done, I understand. I understand. Thing is, Overlord, you didn't ask a question. You typed the question on screen and broadcasted it to the entire of Twitter. And the question carries the implication that I support Nazis and swastikas. It was a bad faith representation to put. An appropriate question would be saying something like, hey, why doesn't he support this, but he supports whatever being allowed on it? Lying implies I don't believe in it? Everett, you genuinely think I'm a Nazi? And give me an honest answer. You genuinely believe that I am a Nazi? Like, cold blood definition to the letter. You genuinely believe that? There's no way you genuinely believe this. And then if you think I am, why? Seriously, like, if you think I am this, then why? Yeah, exactly. Not wanting political stuff to your non-political satire game doesn't equal me being a Nazi. Everett, why? Like, seriously, okay, you, like, Overlord doesn't want to talk, but you're here right now, right? You think I'm a Nazi. Why? Let's fucking hammer this out. Why do you think I'm a Nazi? Seriously. I don't care that I'm arguing with children. He's shown that he's willing to talk, right? Or whatever the fuck you are. Just like, why do you think this? Seriously. I want to get to the bottom of this, because what you've started has been a genuine nightmare for me for 2 days. For 2 days, it's been hell. I'm waiting for him to say something. Yeah, it's like the whole everyone I disagree with is a Nazi thing. It's like, I just... Tell me why you think this. Yeah, someone's probably DDoSing the server, unfortunately. It is really sad. I agree. Like, this is really sad that you've put these fucking evil labels on me, right? You've put these awful evil labels on me with no reason or like proof of the fact. Like, I don't get it. It's like you're throwing around these horrific, awful accusations on me. Like, with just. Wait, Monkey, you're good? The server's good? Okay, so long as the server's good. I think some people are just having connection issues. Then that's fine. Why are Twitter people always dancing around shit instead of addressing their problems? Because that's not what the website is designed for. The website is designed for short little pieces you can read and react to, and not look into further context or understanding. And it's like, and I can tell people did that too. That they didn't listen to the entirety of that 1 minute long clip, right? They listened to the first 20 seconds, and when I say, hey, you know, I don't think this belongs in game, and then they just run with it and didn't hear the rest of me saying, hey, no, I don't think any of it belongs in the game. Yeah, I'll wait for Everett to type out their point. Because they've already started, and then if it just gets into... I'll talk with Everett, because at least Everett seems somewhat reasonable. Overlord, you've shown to me that you are not a stable individual, and I'm not going to bother with you. I simply believe you allowing your community to be blatantly hateful and bigoted is a monstrous and deplorable. No other TF2 community is as vile as yours. Why are you taking the actions of a minority of bad actors and then painting all 90,000 people who follow me as these people? I don't get it. And I consistently say that I do not condone people going out of their way to do reprehensible shit. I say that consistently. And anytime people do that, I say, you're a piece of shit if you do. Don't do that. You're a horrible human being if you go out of your way to harass other people, right? Plain and simple. Additionally, and it's not like I'm allowing my community to be hateful. It's like I'm not responsible for how other individuals behave. Whatever opinions someone has, however someone acts, that is independent of what I say. I'm not commanding people to go out of their way and be these evil individuals. And yet that somehow makes me a Nazi. How is that even the same definition? Because let's be honest, that's what all this boils down to, right? That's what all of this boils down to. It's what you care about, Everett. It's what Overlord cares about. It's what Wormon cares about. All of this boils down to you three getting very upset with me talking about the workshop and what I've been doing for the past couple years. That's all this boils down to. And now you're just looking for shit to start. And absolutely, like, Volpe, you're right. It's like, it's very unfair to think that I'm the only one with bad actors in my fan base. There are people out there with way more malicious groups than mine. People with bigger groups than mine that do deliberately tell their audience to go out of their way and do horrible things. Everett, do you want to get in a voice chat with me? Add me on Discord. Just shoot me a friend request if you want to get in a voice chat, because I feel like we can just talk through this. Send me a friend request. We can talk right now. Just right now. Hammer it out. Seriously. Of course you don't. I don't enjoy voice chatting. It makes me uncomfortable. Then it's like that tells me you weren't here to have a conversation in the first place. Okay, fine. Type at me in Discord then. Just type at me because like it's just ugh. Yeah, type at me. You're in a group chat now with someone else. Type at me. Type at me. At least they're typing at me. That's something. Anyways, like as we're waiting for them to type something out, I don't know what it's going to be. Like Jesus Christ, man. Like I don't get it. Like listen, I understand, you know, people hate my guts. I get it. You know, I said stuff in the past about transgender people in sports and what and you know, it coming to taking care of kids, whatever. I just, you know, those are two very separate, sensitive things, and that just doesn't mean that I suddenly hate all transgender people. Like, it's like we can't even have these conversations. We can't even like talk about it. It's like, no, you're fucking evil, and you're just gonna die now. God. Minimize Discord. I mean, what's wrong with my Discord? And I'm just in a bunch of servers. Oh yeah, you're right. They might show something that's inappropriate for terms of service. I just realized that. So good call. They could just throw a picture in there that's like porn or something. So fair point. Fair point. At this point, who cares? I care because I'm an idiot and I have the tendency to defend myself when people are just blatantly lying about me for the sake of riling up people on Twitter. I don't appreciate that. I really don't. It's also really fucked up. Also to like so the reason why I'm streaming on my alt is because I polled my main channel a few like earlier this or like last week where it's like, hey guys, I've been doing the YouTube streaming thing for a while, and you know, and it's like, do you guys mind the VODs? Do you guys mind when I go live as often as I do? Some people are like, yeah, I don't care, but other people are like, yeah, it's kind of getting annoying having all the, you know, I go live too often. I go live too often, and they don't like seeing all the notifications or the stuff in their sub feed. So we're doing it on the second channel now. And because this way all the VODs are going to be archived and I don't have to do any weird shit with like secondary uploads or what have you. Why do people spit their vitriol on you like you are the root cause of every problem in the world? I wish I had an answer for that. I really do. I really do. Hold on, I think he sent the message. Everett is still writing. It's gonna be a novel, but we'll see. See, Christopher, I have tried to talk with Overlord. I've tried to talk with Overlord on multiple occasions, but all he does is he just devolves into insulting me and not engaging with the conversation at hand. I've tried this multiple times in DMs, and he just constantly derails it by just not adhering to it. Starts throwing names at me. I mean, I can show you the entirety of our chat logs, but I feel like that'd be doing a disservice to him. Yeah, if only there was a way to communicate without having to type a novel. Here, I'll read a direct quote from Overlord to like share my point with you. All right, so a direct quote from Overlord: "If you spent an iota of the energy you spend on telling me how bad my arguments are by actually giving me good ones, this would be a lot more fun. But God, you are a theatrical cunt." What's another one we can read from you, Overlord? Just to, like, show the people that you're not really interested in speaking with me and you just want to throw insults at me. Let's see. I can continue. We're just waiting. Just waiting because Everett doesn't want to use voice chat. You know what? Overlord, hello, can you hear me? I cannot hear you. Your microphone is not working.
Yes, it is. I just had push to talk on. Hello there.
Okay, dude, so what's the deal? What's the deal?
Well, I don't know. Hello, I guess. First time talking to you directly. So, like, what about my question bothered you so much? Like, the implication is pretty, like, okay,
So right off the bat, nothing bothered me about the inherent question that you posed. I also gave you an answer. I initially didn't want to speak with you because you were just going to redirect it into something else.
Well, no, I'm
But I still...
gonna try keep doing to the point. I made, like, a certain tweet about you asking a certain question, and you seem to have, like, issues with that. So,
yes,
like,
because
let's
you
talk about
heavily
it.
implied in the context of your tweet that I support Nazis and swastikas.
Well,
That's why I took issue with it.
I implied that you apply your standard for free speech kinda weirdly.
How do I apply my standard for free speech weirdly?
Like I pointed out, like why does it cover, people running around? And sure, even if it's not Nazi imagery, like all kinds of imagery, but like you certainly become like, what's the word for it?
Go on.
Yeah, well, I'm not a native English speaker. Give me a second.
Sorry, take your time, Didn't know.
Concerned with the politics when somebody's like making like it is like somewhere far away in a corner and it's like a joke. Like it's a joke, it's a it's a name, but like if you say the name out loud, it says something else. Like it's
So
a standard type of joke that like everything from comics to like TV series have been doing for like multiple decades at this point.
okay, so I think my problem is that you made a false equivalence. You made an asset inside of a TF2 map as if though it were a form of player communication, which it is not.
It is.
No, it's
I mean,
not.
it is the communication of the map makers. Like it is it's an artistic product. They like
TF2 is not
these
their
are-
product. TF2 is a product they
No,
are making.
the map is the
Yes,
no,
but
no,
TF2
the map is their
listen. TF2 is the product they are making assets for. They should adhere
Yes.
to. They should adhere to what that product is, and not try to lace new things in. Additionally,
I'm
maps are not a
disagreeing.
form. Additionally, maps are not a form of speech or communication. It's like saying a hat in TF2 is a form of speech or communication when it's not.
Well, if you want to be really technical about it, yes, it is. Like it, you know, you are going to probably not like the sentence, but like all art is political, and like yeah, like I consider like yeah, it's an art, like hat making, map making, all this kind of stuff is maybe not high art, but like it is certainly art, and art has a message, and that message is inherently political.
So
and, like,
behold politics.
Yeah, but like
behold,
what is
behold,
okay, but like,
behold Konata Izumi, the nexus of political discourse, because apparently all forms of art are political.
yes, but not all politics are contentious. That's a different. Because like, what is your definition of political, if I may ask?
Things involving government, I guess. I don't know.
Well, I think you can even pull it broader. I think I would say that political is just everything that like a disagreement exists about.
No, I don't agree at all. Politics implies that you have a
Well,
higher...
isn't that kind of political? We are disagreeing right now.
So like I say I like apples, and you say you don't like apples. That is not politics. Politics implies that there is a higher power enforced, typically in the form of a government that is establishing some kind of rules or enforcements upon the people, right?
Yes, for example.
Is that not what politics is? At least from a very loose general definition.
Okay, but like what then makes like the existence of trans people inherently political in your eyes?
That's not what I think at all. The existence of transgender people is not inherently political.
Okay, so like do they deserve human rights?
Every human being deserves equal treatment from their fellow man. Yes.
Do they, deserve access to like necessary medical care?
Okay, so now we're getting into the weeds here. What I want to address is the split between a map being a form of speech and objectors and everything else being a form of speech. We're getting off the rails here. Now we're getting into the weeds of all the other.
I think
so here's the thing too, right? So what you've just said additionally proves my point, because ultimately it boils down for fighting for whatever it is they deem necessary for their right to life in the form of medical treatment or therapies, what have you. And most of that activism goes through pushing for political action from the government. Therefore,
no.
What do you mean, no?
Well, I mean, like, you deferred all of this to activism. I can just easily defer to, like, about every reputable medical institution on the planet Earth. Like, everything from, like, your own government's medical medical systems to, like the list of
See, okay,
reputable...
we're getting way off track here. Now
Okay.
We're derailing into like some weird political argument about healthcare and medical shit. No. What we need to focus on is why you are equating a map being put in TF2 as a form of speech that apparently everyone now has access to, and now anyone can... That's like this thing that should be allowed because it is speech in the game. I disagree,
Yes.
because an asset in TF2 is not something that everyone has access to like form and put whatever they want in the game. You and I both know this, that a very small group of individuals gets their content put in the game, right? Not the hundreds of thousands of people that don't have access to that sphere, right? It's only relegated to a small group of people. To me, that's not a fair. That's not a fair of open speech if it's being put in the game. And again, we're getting way off. We're getting off this again.
No, Well, you've been talking, so like it's you who
Sorry, go
has
ahead,
been
go ahead.
getting us like, okay, like you are like referring to a small group there. Like, what kind of small group are you talking about? Like, m- you know, map makers? Like the
Well,
small
well,
group is map makers?
well, the group of people that consistently get content in the game.
Yes, those like
And also, the group of people that make content for the game represents a tiny, tiny fraction of the overall player base.
yes, but like there is nothing inherently creating an in or an out group there. That is like pure like these are people who like invested like a lot of time and effort learning the skills necessary to make these things. Everybody can like get into map making right now. Like certainly map making, because like it you can basically just make a map using Hammer. It's a piece of software that has been like released and never been updated.
So I know how it works. It is a nightmare to make TF2 maps. It is not easy. Hammer is a miserably outdated tool. It would take months, years to get even on a remotely similar level of heavily experienced map makers.
Yes,
right?
but like on the other hand, like that also like the fact that it is old and like never really updated also makes it so that like every single resource that has ever been made for that like piece of software is still relevant. Like there is like
What does this have to do with the tweet that you made?
because like you are like in so like I don't know like what you're implying that
What was I implying?
like a small group of people who can make maps and like are the ones who get their stuff added who don't represent the larger player base.
They don't. They don't. Of course they don't. Of course, 50 to 100 people don't represent everyone who plays this game. That's just not possible.
So
We
they
all-
are
we
not
all-
allowed to
No,
make a message?
I don't think it's appropriate to put that kind of message into a permanent addition into the game as part of the product. I don't think that's
Why
appropriate
not?
at all.
Why not?
Because it's not there to because the product is already its own thing. There's a proper time and place to have these conversations. It shouldn't be inside of the actual product itself.
I think it's just like like I don't see the problem. Like if you like we already agreed on the fact that like trans people exist and they deserve human rights. Like how is that like remotely like harmful messaging? Like who is going to disagree with that?
So the problem is the term trans rights, the definition, and I believe everyone can fucking agree with me on this, that the definition of those two words is very amorphous. It changes all the time. One day, it's all about, oh, we just want to exist. And then the next day, it's people who are like I don't know, like picketing or having a what's the word I'm looking for? They're having a gathering or a protest. So they're having a protest outside of their government office, right? The definition of what these two words stands for is changing all the time. And it doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter like what the inherent definition is. My point is that something that is as volatile as this statement, right? That is, I believe you can agree with me on this, one of the most polarizing social things in fucking recent history.
Yeah, but why is it polarizing? Because like didn't used to be. Like, funnily enough, like.
So here's the thing. Here's the thing. So I'm going to stop you there. It doesn't matter why. My point is that it is, and we shouldn't be having this stuff inside of the game. It should be separate, where it's proper to have these conversations.
Because it's not even like a conversation. Like
you're right. You're right, because just throwing it into a map is not a conversation. It's just putting this blanket thing.
No, it's
like,
a
boom,
statement.
There it is.
It's a statement. And like I think map makers are allowed to make statements. And if Valve doesn't want statements in their game, they have all the power to remove statements if they do not agree with those.
You and I both know what would happen if Valve removed this particular volatile statement, and they have removed volatile statements before. They removed one, I believe, that was related to some political thing happening in India. It was on Castle. They've removed sensitive things before.
Yeah, well, they removed something that was like could be construed as a racist thing. Like it, like there's this like the funny thing that like I see you and like a lot of your defenders do is like, yeah, like both like civil rights and like racism or whatever or like Nazism or whatever
Why?
are both politics. But like if
Why
you
do
can't
we? Okay, listen.
tell
Stop.
which of those two are worth supporting, you should give up your voting rights.
Why
Like,
does any of this belong in the game?
because it's a good statement to make. Like, it's an agreeable, worthwhile thing to say.
Not for everyone.
Yeah, but like, I don't know. Like,
So
those
and that right
people
there,
are
and that
wrong.
and it does. You may think they're wrong, but they don't think they're
No, no.
wrong, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because it's
Yeah.
not a blanket statement that everyone automatically. It doesn't make it inherently good, right? You can twist yourself in knots, providing whatever current definition, what have you, but it
I think it's
doesn't.
good, and I can defend
Sure,
why
sure,
it
and
is
you can,
good.
and it's fine that you think it's good, fine, and of course the inherent messaging can be like, yeah, we want equal rights, what have you, but it still doesn't belong in the game, and I stand by that. It's not the proper time and place to have these kinds of conversations because it's a video game that is not there to it doesn't exist to do this. Like
But like, you are blowing this up in like it
I'm
is like
blowing this
oh
up.
yeah, kinda.
I'm blowing this up.
Yes, actually, like you could have just walked past that door, never said anything about this, and all of this wouldn't have happened, buddy.
So just don't speak my mind against the things that I don't think are appropriate. So just never open my mouth and say things that you may personally disagree with for the sake of why? Just don't talk? Just say nothing? Because that sounds like what you want me to do is just say nothing.
But like, so it's like you personally, like your personal thing on this is that like it is like too much of a nothing burger to have all of this drama about, but like such a huge fucking issue that it like needs your direct commentary on it, like for the world to see.
I made a 60-second comment on a live stream about why I don't think any of these sensitive topics should be in the game. That's all I did. And then you and your friends blew this up into this wild shit show on Twitter. I'm the one blowing this up? Yeah, this person with the donation summed it up very clearly. Both circling the point. The door is not a statement, it's a symbol of neuroticism and insecurity by one individual person. It's not genuine. Ignore the first half of that, but the point is that it's not genuine. And again, from what I showed earlier on
Why is it not genuine?
because the map maker specifically added that statement to sow discontent within the community. If you did not see that screenshot from Knockout forums, they specifically changed that door to piss people off. It was not put into the game with good intentions.
I think like a message can serve multiple purposes. That can be like both like a genuine call for like, or like a genuine like, you know, message for like you know, a very common sense policy, and also like, yeah, it's gonna piss some people off, and it's sometimes kind of funny to be like a little bit above abrasive.
Okay, so on that same note, what if I made my own map and then I put something that I stand for in that map that made you upset? Should I just
Well,
say,
I'm gonna have a fucking laugh when you do that.
So should I just say the same thing to you and just say, oh, just ignore it? Just don't say anything. It bothers you, just why would you comment? Why would you comment
if
on
it's
it?
bad? But like, if it's bad politics, I'll rail against it, but not on the
So,
basis that it is
that is-
political, but like on the basis that it is bad.
That's subjective. What is bad is subjective. What is inherently morally correct changes from person to person, and you cannot
Well,
speak
okay,
for
look,
every individual that
look-
plays this game.
Right, okay, but like I can like like sorry. I can like I don't like have to be like, oh, this is bad and therefore it doesn't have to be. Like I can most of the time tell you why something is bad. So like, I don't know, give me an example. What do you think you could put in a map that would piss people off?
What?
Well, you gave me the Well, you said the example of like, hey, what if I made a
Also,
map and I put some...
also, define bad politics. Again, that's something subjective. That again changes from person to person.
What is bad politics for me is generally the things that are like going to be like essentialists, like essentialists, and like the kind of politics that I really despise is like the kind of politics that like tries to group people and like tries to blame them. For example, like, and I'm not saying you do this, but like, for example, a lot of people like have this idea of like trans ideology,
so
and like
I'm gonna stop you right there.
group...
I'm gonna stop you right there because you did do that with the heavy implication that I support swastikas and Nazism with your fucking tweet. You heavily implied that.
You tolerate it.
I tolerate people being allowed to say whatever they want. I'm
But
not
trans rights.
Again, everything in the form of objectors and sprays and in-game voice chat and text chat. You should be allowed to say whatever the fuck you want in there, short of it being illegal. Period. Full stop. And that doesn't mean that I automatically agree with it because I allow it for it to be said, or because it's a part of free speech. That's what free speech is, right? People can say it, but it doesn't mean you have to agree with it. And a map in TF2 is not a form of speech. It's a part of the product.
Yeah, and that product can contain messages. Like,
I don't think it shouldn't contain messages. It doesn't exist to contain messages. It exists to be the game it was built to be. And trying to inject messages into the game, it's what the developers should decide. Instead of like having people outside of their sphere and outside of their influence try to like sneak these things in, because you know for a fact Eric Smith did not see it. He didn't look. He didn't know it was there. It just just got in.
Yeah, but like,
it wasn't confirmed or condoned by the company. Cool. It was slipped in underneath his nose.
Yeah, but like, I'm pretty sure like Eric and everybody at Valve has been emailed like approximately a billion fucking times with every single like
How do you know
person.
That? How do you know they've been emailed a billion times by people? What I'm assuming you're going to say are people who are upset about the door. How do you know?
Yes.
This? How do you know this?
Because people like email like people email like Gabe Newell, like multi-billionaire Gabe Newell, with like questions for like half when he's going to personally release Half-Life 3. Like,
okay, and so that's an automatic that's an automatic reasoning for having a ton of people email Eric Smith saying to address the door.
Yeah, absolutely.
I highly doubt that people did that. I'm not saying no one did, but I highly doubt this massive wave of people did that.
Well, it's not going to be massive because, like,
you just said it was. You just said it was a bunch of people.
But it's relatively massive. But like,
oh, now it's relatively massive.
It's still going to be a lot of people.
No, it's not. I can guarantee you, it's probably in the double digits. It's probably in the double digits because most people are just going to keep playing the game and don't even know that this is present.
Oh, ignorance is bliss. But like, yeah, okay, so like it is brought to their attention. They have had like time to act upon it, and like they have chosen not to. So like,
yeah,
the only conclusion
you and I both know why they can't do that, because just look at how people are tearing into me on Twitter. Could you imagine if Valve went and removed trans rights from the door in their game that got sneaked in under their nose? Could you imagine the shit show that they would have to deal with? That's why they're not going to do anything. It doesn't mean they agree with it.
Valve has done way shittier things and survived. Because like they don't even have to care. Like, they're a privately owned business. They don't even have to like care about like, I don't know, like shareholders or something. Like they can do whatever the fuck they want.
Of course
they're
can.
Sitting on a literal money printer. So like, I don't think they really are that concerned about like.
They're concerned about one thing, and that's making. They're concerned about one thing, and that's making money. And they will continue. And they will continue to do whatever actions are necessary to keep that number going up. And the best course of action is to not address that door, because why would you inadvertently piss off a shitload of people? because you
Because,
know it
like-
would be volatile. It would explode, and it would hurt
Okay,
them.
but the inclusion of the trans door is also like good PR for them, isn't it? By that same logic.
No, because there's people who also disagree with the connotation of what those two words mean. Because again, the definition changes from day to day. Just because you slap those two things on there doesn't automatically mean everyone's going to be praising it.
Yeah, but
And
okay,
again, it's
even-
not representative of everyone that plays this game.
But even in America, like current day America, like there is like a greater support for trans people than there is like against them. Like the Republican Party lost massively on their platform of only transphobia.
See,
So like,
what? Okay, now we're getting into completely irrelevant politics here.
not really.
Yes, we are. Why are we talking about the Republican Party in my country? We're talking about putting stuff in TF2. What?
Well, you claim that like there is this like massive majority of people who like do not like want the trans door there, and it's
I
just,
didn't
like,
say that. I never said that. Those words did not leave my mouth. My point that I keep reiterating is that it is one of the most sensitive social topics that are happening in this current age. Period.
Yes, and
That's it. And therefore, it should not be in the game because it's not the soapbox that people should use to stand on to discuss these things. It's not what the product is here for. It is here to be a fun video game that exists outside of these spheres that people can go in and not act as this platform for speech. Is that all?
It is just like, okay, it's just like really hard to like, because like you do this like very weird thing where like, oh, like what is it called, the sign thingies,
The conscientious objector.
objector like is like not a product but like a form of communication, but
Yes.
like it is still also like
The sign itself is indeed part of the game, but players are allowed to freely and dynamically place whatever they want on that sign. And when you come across a player holding a sign with whatever they chose to put on it, just in the same way whatever they decided to write inside of text chat, whatever they decided to write inside of voice chat, whatever their spray they decided to be, that is a temporary form, as a temporary interaction that does not represent the base product itself. And after you're done with that interaction, you never come across it again. Unlike a map, which is forever and permanently within Team Fortress 2. You cannot compare the two.
there's some comparisons to be made, but I don't know, for me it's like one pile of like digital pixels versus another pile of digital pixels.
That's a reductive argument. Now you're reducing it to make it seem as if though the difference does not exist. Oh, it's just a pile. It's just a pile of pixels. Why do you care?
Yeah, no, there are differences, but those differences. Shut up. But those pile of pixels, wait, sorry, I'm roommate.
Okay.
Like, are those meaningful differences? Like, yeah, sure, there are differences.
They are
between...
immensely meaningful differences. For example, let's go to the other extreme end member case. Okay, what if someone put a giant swastika in the middle of Turbine? Just put a giant fucking swastika in there.
Well,
listen, and this is again an extreme end member case, right? You clearly being an advocate for a freedom and open form of communication, right? And you saying apparently that because someone put this in their map as their means of speech, then by that logic, shouldn't someone else should be allowed to put whatever else they want in their own maps, and then Valve accept it in if it was also slipped under their nose?
Yeah, but like two differences, like
because one's bad politics and one is good politics. Is that what you're going to say?
Yes, actually, no. Wait, you tried to pin me on this, like, oh, like you think that I think like there's like inherently good or inherently bad politics.
You just said that there are bad politics. You drove that point home not 10 minutes
Buddy,
ago.
I would need like a small essay worth of like text to like.
This is why fucking political discussions are awful, because people have to write novels to get a 2-second point across. Not directed at you, but that's just the general fucking.
Yeah, no. Tell me about it. No, but like, but
Let's rewind a bit.
Nah, but
Let's go all the way back to the beginning and all the way back to your tweet. We've now shown, at least I think I've shown, that you've presented a false equivalence. You presented a misleading statement to make it seem as if though I support Nazism and swastikas. Right? And my question is, why? Why would you intentionally try to paint me as this bad actor, as this person who believes in something that I very clearly do not? Why would you do this?
No, my point was to point out a double standard, and apparently you do have like some internal logic to keep your like all of your different standpoints on things together. So like, okay, like you're not a hypocrite. That is what I got from that.
What? Okay, so that dodges the thing I'm trying to say. My point again. Why did you attempt to paint me by misleading people with your question that I support swastikas and I advocate for them, and implying to the reader that I think these things, that I agree with whatever's being put on the objector? Why would you do that? And why would you do that? Listen, why would you do that instead of posing the question in such a way of like, oh, you don't mind a variety of things being put on objectors, including... You could have said, oh, Zesty doesn't mind having trans rights put on an objector. Why does it matter if it's put in the map? No, you took the route of trying to paint me as someone who loves and supports Nazis. My question is why?
Who tolerates Nazi imagery? That's something... That's like a different thing.
I tolerate people being allowed to put whatever the fuck they want. It doesn't matter. It doesn't mean I agree with it. Doesn't mean I support it or condone it. But because it's a form of open communication, ergo free speech, people should be allowed to say whatever they want. Simple as. And again, that doesn't automatically mean that I agree with whatever's being said inside of that same room. I'm inside of a room with someone who's screaming at the top of his lungs that he's racist against, I don't know, Taiwanese people or something. But because I'm standing in that same room with him, that doesn't mean that I share his ideas. He's allowed to say it, because within that room, you're allowed to say whatever the fuck you want. And that room is TF2. And just because we all happen to play this same game and we all have access to these objectors and means of communication, doesn't mean that we automatically agree with whatever is being said inside of these means of communication. Text chat, voice chat, objectors, and sprays. I feel like that's pretty clear fucking cut.
Here is the thing though, like my problem with this with this thing is that like
yeah, that's right. Tolerance does not equal support. Tolerance does not equal support. Thank you for whoever typed that.
Yeah, well, okay, like we're like in your like camp, like of course you're gonna have a lot of support, but like here's the thing.
Okay, yeah, listen, motherfucker. Listen, motherfucker. Sorry, I'm getting mad. You're in my camp now, because for the past 3 days you've had your entire fucking camp cramming down my throat,
spreading. Hey, you didn't want to talk to me.
Spreading fucking no, because you posted it first. You made that tweet first before coming to me and talking about it. You fucking idiot. If you genuinely cared about what I thought, you would have come to me first and we would have had this conversation beforehand in private. But no, you made the tweet first and let it out there and let people run fucking wild. And then you decided to talk to me after you already got what you wanted. And that was people jumping down my throat. So listen, I've been in your friend's camp. The fucking shit show I've been dealing with for 3 days. Now it's my turn. You can be in mine for a few minutes.
Yeah, no, I don't mind them. They're nice. Like, honest to God.
Look, hey, Chad, guess what? You're nice. Did you hear that? You're fucking nice compared to the hell I've been put through for the past 2 days. Fuck me, man. Ugh. Yes, I'm getting heated. I'm sorry. I'll calm myself down.
Nah, it's all right. Nah, like here's the thing though. Like the problem with like the problem that I okay, this might go off the point again, but like the problem that I have with like the like your whole point about like the objectors and shit is that like this like the problem with this like free speech absolutism is that like some forms of speech are gonna have like a cooling effect on like other types of speech. Like if
What does that
you
even mean?
yeah, like if you have like an entire server where like people are just going to run around with swastikas everywhere, like that is going to like very hardly discourage people, other people, a whole set of other people from like,
But that doesn't happen.
talking.
That doesn't
Maybe
happen. You've painted this extreme hypothetical scenario that
not really. Because like
in
it's
my
because
13 years of playing Team Fortress 2, never experienced that shit. Never heard
yeah,
about
because
anything like that. In fact, the only servers that I hear about where people are all kind of sharing the same thing are My Little Pony servers. If anything, that's like the most like enclosed. Like if you
yeah,
listen, Applejack, best horse, I don't care. But like the whole fucking group of
okay,
people, like they're the most centered off people, right, inside the TF2 sphere. Like yeah,
okay, but
you've
like
posed this
people,
straw man.
that's not a straw man. Like
Yes, it is
the,
saying that you have this whole
but
server
like
full of people running around with
you
swastikas
have
is a
yeah.
straw man.
Not really. Like there are certainly because like it kind of
I assume you
showcases what
mean
I'm saying.
TF2 servers? TF2 servers in which this happens?
Yeah, sure. Like, but
I've
like,
never seen
ho-
this.
hold up. Let me finish my point.
Go ahead. Sorry.
It got because it kind of like illustrates this is that like people are just going to like like, and I'm talking mostly about community servers here. I'm not talking about like official Valve Maker servers because like those are too volatile. Like those are just a bunch of people put together. But like with like servers that like people actively choose to like go on, yeah, like and like it
So
can
here's
be
the thing. Here's the
it
thing.
can be also
It's
extrapolated to
so
like
it can happen, but because it can happen doesn't mean that it is happening. It's like the same thing where people are and
yeah,
not to
no,
and listen
because
and not to
because
and
it's
listen, hold on. Not to muddy the waters here, but this extreme hypothetical thing that does not happen is the same argument that jackass made against decals, where he said, "Oh, people can put a whole bunch of, cheese pizza on these things, but that doesn't mean that it's happening." It never was. And in,
right. Okay, but like
and in my and again, my experiences, and I'm sure many other people here have never seen an entire like a fucking like a Hail Hitler server. I've never seen that, and I'm not saying one doesn't exist, but you're painting it as if though like it's this thing that happens all the time.
well, I've not been on the Zesty server, so I don't know how it's going over there. Okay, that was a joke. That was a joke. That was
Oh
a
my
joke. That was a
god!
joke.
And there you go again. It's like you can't even help
That was a
yourself.
joke.
Like
Come
it doesn't.
on,
It's
that
like
was a joke, man.
it's still. It's like you can't help yourself. God.
No, but like, like it is just like the prevalence of these things. Like if like you are like you kind of normalize it, more and more people are going to do it. So like, and you
Isn't it not a good thing to parody and normalize making jokes of horrible past events and reminding people that they were there and how horrible it was? Is it not a good thing to shit all over the horrible things that Nazis stood for by like fucking just randomly critting someone with a goofy sign? To me, I think that's like the best thing you can do is keep talking about it, keep it at the forefront of discourse. Because if you try to like hide it and like shy, like no, we can never speak about this. If you never speak
no,
about
but
it, if you
like
never let it come to the light, guess what's going to happen?
yeah,
It's
okay,
going
but
to
this is
happen again.
yeah. Okay, but like there is a difference between like speaking about the evils of Nazi Germany and like glorifying their like symbols and their whatever the hell not.
How is it being? I've never seen someone glorifying Nazi symbols in TF2. I'm not saying it doesn't happen. Surely someone has like a medic loadout that's to the nines. It paints him look like it makes him look like an SS officer. But it's like this is just such a bad faith argument to even pose.
Don't wait, you've never seen like you like isn't like just like
I've
people running around
I've
with
seen like joke loadouts. Like the demo man putting on the The airplane,
Yeah.
the airplane suit with the turban and the caber and flying around. His name's 9/11.
Yeah.
That's an offensive joke, but it doesn't mean it should be removed or banned.
Okay,
I think it's fucking funny, and I'm an American. It happened years ago. Horrible tragedy, but it's like, if we're never allowed to joke about these things, then, like,
yeah, but
it's
like,
horrible.
the thing is that like a joke can still be like a valid expression of an honest held opinion. Like all of these, like I don't think like, oh, it's a joke is like inherently like a defense against a bunch of like.
But what do you mean? I can make, it's like, okay, so let me make a joke right now. Oh, I love Nazis. Nazis are the greatest fucking thing in the world. Very obviously, me saying that right now is a joke.
Okay.
And just because
but
I've said that, that doesn't mean I support them.
Yeah, but that's because of the context you're saying this.
Oh,
like you
there
have
it
very
is.
much.
There it is. Context.
Yeah.
Context
Yeah,
is
sure.
fucking important. And
Like,
just because you make a joke out of it doesn't automatically agree that it doesn't mean you automatically agree with what is being said.
Okay, but here's the thing: you have like with things you've said in the past, you've created a whole bunch of context that like might lead one to like think that you. Well, I'm not like. I personally don't think you're a Nazi, but like I'm.
Everett certainly does.
Okay, but like Everett is his own person.
We'll get
like,
to. I know. We'll get to him. Sorry, we'll get to Everett.
But like, like the whole transphobia stuff that I constantly brought up is like, are you interpersonally like transphobic? I don't know. Like that is between you, your psychiatrist, and the Lord. But like,
no, I don't think I am. It's like if I hold a couple of ideals that like offend transgender people, then I inherently hate all of them. It's like I don't get that.
But like the next best thing in that situation is that you look at your actions, and your actions have been is that like you have said a bunch of slurs. Okay, whatever, it's in the past.
Whoa, okay,
like,
no. I said it a handful of times in a single conversation. Now,
right,
okay, so now you're poisoning the well again. Now you're poisoning the well again. You're making it seem as if this is something I did all the time.
No. Okay, whatever. Certain slurs have been said. People have called you out on the uses of such slurs, and rather than going like, "Oh, hey, yeah, well, whatever, sorry," you've doubled down on those for like years straight, and then like,
did I not apologize with my
immediately
with my twit longer? Did I not apologize?
Okay, but like immediately in the replies to that tweet longer, you're like, "Oh yeah, but like I support Matt fucking Walsh."
Whoa,
like,
no, I did not say that in my twit longer. I did not say that. I did not say that at all. And then we're going back to that. And okay, we're getting so fucking. No. That's a flat out lie. That's not what I said in my twit longer.
You said.
I said that I agree with him on 2 points.
I agree with Matt Walsh that children should be treated very differently. Like I don't know what to tell you, but like.
I'm failing. Listen, I'm failing to see what your point is here with all of this.
Yeah, because like those are a bunch of actions you have taken publicly, and those paint a certain image of you.
Okay, and I've
want a better image,
motherfucker. And I constantly say, and I've constantly said it through this stream. I've said it more times than the bad things I've said that I do not care. I don't care who you are. I don't care how you live your life. You're a fellow human. Be that. I just do not give a shit. Now we're getting into like. Yeah, someone said it in my chat. We're getting into nuanced personal opinions on politics. We're getting so far removed from this initial conversation here.
No, but like you try to paint me as like some kind of like bad fate who only did this to like get back at you.
Yes, that is my question. Is that not why you did this?
No, have like I had like with the actions you have taken in the past, you have painted yourself as like a person who like is in agreement with like far right figures. I don't know how far you're gonna take it, but like you're
God, and here we go. I agree on a single talking point. Now everything I believe in is far right. What the fuck, man? What is this insane reductive?
I mean, like
arguing.
If you okay, but like if why would you bring up Matt Walsh if like you have like think that you have some like common sense like good opinion to have?
The original
quote every single other person who has that opinion except for that fucking asshole.
Because the person who was bitching at me in that Twitter thread was mad that I followed him or not follow or like. I was either because I followed him or liked something he posted on Twitter. And because apparently now I'm not allowed to like something on Twitter or follow somebody, and just because I follow somebody, that doesn't mean I automatically advocate for everything they post, right? But just because I did that, and I in that moment, I felt the need to clarify, like, hey, I agree with him on these 2 points. And I believe it was a tweet. Honestly, I don't remember. This is a couple years ago now, or a year ago now. Oh no, it was 2 years ago now. But like, I put, or was it a year, 2 years? It was a year ago. Yeah, it was a year ago, like today.
But like, why do you take your opinions on trans people from like a Christo-fascist and not?
I don't take my opinions just from him. My opinions are formulated from a whole bunch of things I've read and seen. It's not like I'm blindly following one individual. Everyone's opinions are formulated by their life experiences and things that they see and they read and the people who they interact with. It's not like my entire existence is dictated by what this one person says on Twitter.
But then, like, why
say it? Because I was clarifying why this person was, why I liked the tweet. And apparently invoking that name is, I mean, now that I know, invoking that name is like a death sentence on Twitter. Lesson learned. Thank you, Soundsmith.
It is kind of funny that like you
listen, and someone just gave another donation. We've now once again steered away so far from the original topic, and I think we've covered the original topic pretty thoroughly. I think that's it. And yeah, and someone else said in my chat, you've now projected this monstrous image of me that I'm. Would you say a Christo? What the fuck a Christo fascist? I don't even know what a Christo fascist is. And then it's like apparently
like
now
it's literally in his bio. Like a Christo-fascist, like a Christian, like
yeah, he put that in his bio as a joke. No one. Like,
yeah, it's always a joke.
No, because like people started calling him that, and now he put that in his bio as a joke.
Yeah, sure.
But now people like you take it seriously.
Like again, like
anyways, listen. We're far off the original track. All right, we're so far off the original track, and again, I don't. I've said my piece about how a map in TF2 is not a form of player communication. I've said my piece on I've said my piece on why you shouldn't be putting these immensely sensitive social or political topics into the video game.
But like they are so sensitive because like people keep being like it is politicized. Like it is not like trans people are not inherently political. Like
no, of course not.
Like,
no human being is inherently political. But because the social issues around transgender people have been heightened to this insane elevated status inside of political discourse, that's how a majority of people, at least in the West, view that. So to say that it's not, it's just to say that it has no. There is nothing political about it is just a flat-out lie because it has immense weight in those discussions. And I will say again, that discussion and all others that are that sensitive do not belong in this game. It doesn't matter what they are.
Yeah, but they also don't really... like, the only reason, like, trans people are politicized is because, like... it, like...
And here's the thing. So here's the thing. You just admitted that they are politicized.
Yes, and they shouldn't be.
No, and I agree. No one's existence should be politicized. Yeah, no one should. Doesn't matter who you are.
Hey, and you know what the fastest way to like depoliticize trans issues is to just like stop trying to like ban their access to like medical care and whatever, and just like leave them the fuck alone and like.
Thing is, you've now reduced on one of the most sensitive arguments into like, oh, I'll just allow for everything they're asking for to happen, and that right
what
there,
they're asking for what like medical like establishments have already like devised for them for like decades by this point. Like trans people,
and
like,
okay, all right. So now riddle me this: what does this have to do with Team Fortress 2? Why does this discussion belong in the video game? Why do you think this discussion belongs in the video game?
Because a lot of trans people play Team Fortress 2. A lot of like map creators and a lot of like the like creative people that are like currently saving this game are trans and deserve like
no one deserves to have representation in this game. No one deserves any of it.
They've earned it. They've earned it.
I disagree. They don't earn having their likeness preserved in the game. They've certainly earned their paychecks. They've certainly earned their praise of people enjoying their items and whatever content they make. But they don't earn or deserve to have these discussions laced into Team Fortress 2. No one does.
They have. Sure, they do.
No, they don't.
Like, why not? Like, why not? Like,
because that's not what the game is here for. The game is not here to represent them. The game is not here to represent their beliefs or ideals. It is here to be Team Fortress 2.
No,
just like an Oreo cookie is here to be an Oreo cookie.
Yeah, but like, okay, first of all, Oreo has certainly done like a whole bunch of like rainbow capitalist bullshit to like.
Yeah, and you think the company cares about that? You think the company actually cares about these people?
Why do you think I call it rainbow capitalism? Like you don't have to tell me, buddy.
Yeah, and then Valve is exempt from this. Like this being in the game now suddenly means that now Valve's drawn their line in the sand. They care, guys. Like, how is Valve any different? They're not.
No,
they're another company that would do it for the exact same reasons as any other major company.
Yeah, but still, that is like, even if that is like, even if that it's like, if that like Valve is insincere about it, that is still like good messaging being put out for like a bunch of people to see, which normalizes like the existence of this of trans people, which like should be normalized.
No. So you think that we should normalize the acknowledgement of this specific group of people everywhere?
Sure, why not? You can do that for like a lot of people. Like, why not? Like, if you like,
why not do it for anybody else? Because that's not what these products are here to do. They exist to be just the thing that they are.
But like, you keep referring to these as products, but like they are also like arts. I agree.
TF2 is art. TF2 is
art.
Yeah, TF2 is an improvement.
And
so the thing is, the original purpose of Team Fortress 2 was to be a class and team-based first-person shooter that is an impressionistic view of 60s and 70s architecture and weaponry, and also spy tech, with an air of sci-fi spy tech fantasy laced into that. That is the original purpose of this game, and nothing beyond that. And then you have these unique individual characters with not exactly that deep of not that deep of a background with each one, but that's what the game is. It's not meant to be a mouthpiece for representation for anybody.
Like you keep like referring to like Team Fortress 2 was like at one point in its life like the artistic vision of like a single group of creators, but like ever since like the first update to it, like it has been like a product that has been like in the hands of like a multitude of different like creative teams that have done wildly different things with it.
Maybe what 50 to 100 people have worked on TF2 at this stage in some capacity. It's still not a lot of people.
Yeah, and like a lot of those people like
and again, this is a video game. This is a video game whose original purpose and the purpose it still serves is to be the product that it was in 2007. To be a game that people just come and play and experience what it was meant to be, right? It's like,
okay, but like then I'll ask you this: how does like a creator like using their creative like, because like again like maps are in themselves also pieces of art. How is a creator like putting like their political message in like their pieces of art? And
TF2 is not their canvas. Team Fortress 2 is not their
Yes,
canvas.
it is.
No,
like,
it's not. Team
that
Fortress
is
2 is the team.
explicitly yes.
No, it's not.
I mean,
Team
like,
For- no. What are you
that
talking
is
about?
what the entire workshop is built around. The workshop is a crowdsourcing platform.
The workshop,
the-
no. Your view of
Yes.
the workshop is completely antithetical to mine. The workshop
Yeah,
exists
that-
for people. The
yeah.
workshop exists for people to make items for a heavily stylized video game that should fit the tones, themes, and stylization of Team Fortress 2. That people can go vote on and try to have accepted into the game as official products. The game does not.
The workshop is a crowdsourcing platform for like a bunch of people to do Valve's work and for Valve to just basically for Valve to pick like the stuff they want in their game.
Yes, that they want in their game. It's
Well,
their
and they-
game. It's not the canvas of people who make items for Team Fortress
Well,
2.
the fact that they put the map in the game with like the trans reference kind of implies that they are like all right with it being there.
You think they knew about it? You think Eric Smith genuinely knew that was there when he put it in the
He
game?
probably knows now, and
Oh,
like,
he certainly
even
knows now, and I already told you
Yeah,
why that
but-
he can't. And I already told you why that he's not going to go back and even say anything about it.
Yeah, like but like that is like
also
an
not a crowd-
assumption
it's
on you.
also
That
not
is
a
an
cr-
assumption on your part, because like I told you that like Valve doesn't fucking care and Valve can do whatever the
Yeah,
fuck they
you
want.
think Valve
like,
doesn't play test maps anymore.
Also, I'm pretty sure, like-
listen. Mappers tell me this. You typically, at most, what Eric Smith does is he loads up a map into a private server and flies around to ensure that nothing is broken. And then when it came to Krampus
good.
was play tested to an extent to make sure that it would function on launch. But they don't scour the map. They don't scour texture files. They don't go through the entirety of it to look for these things. It was absolutely sneaked in by the mapper. And Valve picking it doesn't mean that they picked it because they saw it in there and they are totally fine with it. There's no way that Eric Smith knew it was there when he picked that map. A tiny detail like that. It's fucking impossible. I shouldn't say it's impossible. It's a very microscopically small chance that he knew it was there.
Okay, cool. But then like he knows of it now, and and for whatever reason, whether it is because like the mob will kill him personally, or maybe because like he's just kind of a common decency guy, he doesn't mind that message being in there. Now, like,
he may not listen. Eric Smith may not personally mind about the message being in there, but he is still at the mercy of higher ups that are in the company. Everyone says that Valve has a flat structure, but there are absolutely people with a higher executive power over Eric Smith. Because also and you know this because in communications with emails, he often says, "Oh, I'm gonna defer this to someone else to look at it," right? Because there's obviously someone telling him to do and telling him to keep working on TF2. Because if it was truly his choice, I highly doubt Eric Smith would even be fucking with TF2 anymore.
Probably. I don't know. But like even still, like then like okay, like sure, if Valve as an entity wants to remove like trans messaging from their game, then yeah, I'm gonna call them a shit company. But like
and that goes back to this to the reason I said earlier, you know, that they would not do that because it would really hurt their business. Because if they went back and retroactively removed a trans rights thing inside of something in Team Fortress 2, my God, it would be a fucking it would be an even greater bit of hellfire than Save TF2. It's a guess on my part, but it would be a monstrous event.
Okay, so like so like Valve added it, removing it would hurt them, and like keeping it is like a net neutral thing.
Keeping it is their safe play, because if they remove it, that's going to hurt their business.
And it's also a fairly good thing, I guess.
You think it's a good thing, and that's fine if you think it is. Don't. I don't. I'm not saying that. I'm saying it's not a good thing to put these messages in the game.
On the basis that it is inherently political, and like,
and I believe it is. Those two words are again one of the most volatile phrases you can utter inside of any social space right now, online, in person. It's just explode, and like, my God, the shit. Just look at the fucking replies and the quote tweets on your fucking tweet, and tell me with a straight fucking face that is not a volatile social topic.
But
I thought so.
But like,
and that's why it doesn't belong in the game. Because it's divisive, it separates people, and that's not why we're here. We're not here to have these conversations. We're not here to argue about people's right to live, or what one country's doing to another, or or people's rights. No, we are all here. Everyone is here for one thing: to play Team Fortress 2. And that's it. End of story. These things should not be laced in because it detracts from what the product serves the purpose for. That is it. Simple as that.
Yeah, okay, but like, again, like you've established, like we have different views on this. Like I see these like maps as in themselves art pieces.
Then we will have then we will have to continue to disagree because like we will not see eye to eye on this. And, apparently me saying my opinion now means that I think all transgender people should die and that I'm a Nazi supporter thanks to your fucking tweet. You know, it's like that's my problem. It's like I can't say that I don't want these sensitive topics in the game because I just want TF2 to be TF2, right? I can't even say that without people like you putting these very disingenuous, misrepresentative statements about me on Twitter and trying to paint me as this evil person. It drives me nuts.
Okay, but like... Okay, I'm gonna...
Is there anything else?
Not really, but like, if you want, like... The closest thing you're gonna get from me, like, as an apology, I guess, but like...
Oh,
I
now
don't
you want to apologize.
No, I don't want to apologize. I want to explain something to you. I don't like. I don't like. I think this like fucking like. That is what I was talking about. Like thinking that inherently. Like I don't like think that people are inherently evil or like good or thing. Like
with
what
all
I
the
care
shit
more
you've said about
what
me,
I care more about is that people are like you. Like I don't think you're evil or narcissistic. I think you're destructive in a lot of things. Like your rhetoric is destructive, and like that is like.
I think many people would agree to the contrary. Ever since I started talking about the workshop, the overall quality of updates has done nothing but improve.
Well, no, and no. Like, well, you say that is because of you. I can also point to.
I'm not saying it's because of me. I'm not saying it's because of me.
I can also point to the fact
it's
that
because people are more aware of how the workshop works, and that we should have influence over what gets accepted into the game, and that everyone is now speaking their minds, and Valve is picking up on that. It's not specifically just me. It's because more people who play this game are tired of the horrible content they were receiving prior to 2022, and everyone started talking about it, and Valve listened and started picking better stuff.
Okay, cool. Okay, first of all, Valve picking better stuff could also very easily be because, like, for the longest time, Dario Casali was the person who, like, was in charge of Team Fortress 2, and he left Valve.
Yes,
so like it's an entirely different reason.
Okay, of course, that's the original reason.
Yeah, okay, because like the problem that I'm having with you is that, like, because like it is always brought back to this, like, oh, I'm having criticism of these people, but it's like, no, it is the framing of your criticism that is, because like it's
What's
always
wrong with
this
my
like
framing.
Your framing is that, like, okay, like you point to a lot of things in the workshop that are like bad, like, oh, like I don't like this trend, I don't like this, but then like your like the reason you give for those things being bad is universally like, oh, workshoppers are a bunch of lazy evil degenerates.
No, I believe I'm very clear about when I say I don't like.
No, you're absolutely not. Like your first video, like in your first video, like. What is the state of the workshop? You're like coming in, and it's like, oh, look at these people, and like, look, and they're getting paid for their work. Do you know that they get paid for their work? Oh wow, oh, like, oh, look at all the money they get, and look at all these bad cosmetics, and look at these fucking degenerates that like make all of this stuff, and they do it, and like they're completely
Stop! Jesus Christ! Slow the fuck down. Slow the fuck down. You're now you're lacing shit in that I never said. I never called these people. I never called them degenerates. I never said that. You just said that I did. You just said that I said that in that video. I never said that. What I said in that video is that we have exploitative individuals inside of the workshop that are functioning out of a desire to get their content in the game because they get paid for it, and they will continue to adhere to whatever Valve picks. And because Valve was picking garbage content, that's what they kept making. And so naturally, what's the best thing that we can do as the player base?
Okay,
To
but like,
list-
why
shut
are
up!
you?
Let me finish. So the best thing we can do as a player base is to go out of our way and vote on the workshop and tell people what we do and do not like, and to speak with our wallets. That's
Okay, but
all
like,
I've ever said.
The thing is that like things you never gave us like a good faith engagement. Like you were coming in like it's like
You
I'm
never
going to
gave me
tell
the
these
opportunity. I went to you guys first. I went to the workshop. I went inside
Yeah,
the
but
Emporium,
you
you banned me.
Yeah, after you like fucking ran a ruckus in there. Holy shit!
What ruckus did I run?
At one point, you gave one of my fucking co-creators a panic attack. You fucking jackass.
So how? What did I do to make them flip the fuck out? What
Like,
did I say?
the
What did I
thing
do?
you think
That's
you
not my fucking
always
fault that
do.
they reacted to something I said inside the Emporium. What did I say to make that happen? Do you
The
even remember?
problem is that like you often like take these very specific examples of like people's work, and then like all of your like fans or whatever like troublemakers that like follow you like go and like harass these people. Like you kind of like every single person right now is like,
you're doing the same thing again, where you're painting my entire audience as this evil.
No, I'm not painting.
Yes, you just
no,
said. You just said that
I
all these
said,
people who follow me, you're painting them as this evil amorphous
all
force
these
that
people
goes
who
out
were
to do my bidding.
Oh, dear Lord, baby Jesus. Like, no, not every single person in your audience is probably like. There's probably a lot of people in your audience that are just like
95, like 99% of people who watch my content.
I'm not
going
gonna talk about like percentages right now. Like, I know
you
that,
and I
like,
can both agree that it's a very tiny minority of people that are doing these things.
we're not gonna agree on that.
I actively condemn consistently to not do that.
But like, what, like, because like, okay, like you, but like, the thing is, like they don't see the thing they're doing as harassment.
How is that my fault?
You are gassing them up by like making this whole thing about like the evil works cabal.
I didn't call them. I never said they're an evil workshop cabal.
Well,
they are certainly a cabal. The Emporium certainly holds a majority stake in what items get in this game. And if you even want to have it, and if you even want to have a slight chance, and you know this, if you even want to have a slight chance of getting content into the game, you must go through the Emporium. It doesn't automatically write off your chances. It doesn't automatically write off your chances. But the best opportunity and the best way you can get an item in this game is to go through the Emporium and work with people who consistently get their content accepted.
Okay, but like that is not because like the Emporium is some some obstructive I don't like you.
So if they're not a cabal and they're not this obstructive force, why do they ban me? Why did they recently go out of their way to ban a handful of people that were also inside of my Discord server? Two of the nicest people I know, who are nothing but cordial, who are nothing but kind. Why did someone from the Emporium pay money to get into my Patreon to specifically cherry pick inconsequential jokes they made to ban them from the Emporium?
Hey,
these are also people who have content accepted into the game.
Motherfucker, go talk to a mod. I'm not like I'm not like a moderator in the Emporium. I'm just
my point is that they actively remove people. And when the Emporium exists as like
in their Discord, if they find like people like doing stuff that like crosses their lines, they have the right to remove people. Like that is just like how like most fucking Discord servers operate, is that they have a TOS, and if you break the fucking TOS, then they're going to kick you out. They kicked you out because you were like digging up 10-year-old fucking drama.
No, they banned me, and I quote, because I am incompatible with their creators. That was the reason that Diva Dan gave to me. I am incompatible with the creators.
Well, and have you ever questioned yourself why that might be? I'm not gonna speak for Diva Dan. Like the dude has like a good judgment. If he banned you, like, and like I've seen the shit you were doing. Like,
so what did I do inside the Emporium that would merit my ban?
You were constantly shit-stirring with everyone.
No, I was
like,
not.
You were.
Prove it.
Yes.
Prove it. Because I know for a fact I was not. Oh, that's right, you can't. Because the Emporium wipes
you
text channels.
Okay, but you can't also prove that you
if-
were like a nice little angel. Like
If
this
you're
is
going
like,
to accuse me of something,
this,
if you're going to accuse me of something, it's your responsibility to provide the proof.
I am describing your.
Oh, now you're
I'm not
describing.
accusing you. I'm describing your like. Your general attitude while you were in the Discord server, and I
think I was fairly cordial when I was inside of that Discord server. And when I first joined that Discord server, what happened? You locked me out of all of the channels, all of the discussion channels, everything except for the ones, not you specifically. When I say you, I mean the Emporium. I was locked out of all channels except for those related to TF2.
Okay, but like your bad faith engagement with the workshop in general didn't start with you joining the Emporium.
No,
like,
no,
you were already shit stirring. You were already shit stirring.
And then I went there.
Right?
I went there to talk with the people directly. And then guess what happened? They removed me.
Okay, but like it is like going like to a party, like running in the middle of the room and like start like shouting that they have to stop the music, and then like being weirded out that people look weird at. Like
I didn't do that. That's
like
not what happened.
You set the standard of how people interacted with you. Like you came in like fucking aggro. Like you were already doing all of this like narrativizing of like,
what?
Oh, look at all these lazy, greedy, whatever. Like you were already.
Okay, listen. I knew this was gonna happen. Like we're so far off the original beaten path here. All right, listen.
Right. Okay. Like
I will concede. Listen.
The conversation like naturally devolved. Like
listen.
You already
listen. And also public server, by the way, the Emporium. But
yes,
I will concede. I will concede that I am heated whenever I convey opinions. Oftentimes I am. I do concede that I do get emotional. I understand that. And when opinions are conveyed with emotion, it will rub people the wrong way.
Okay,
I do acknowledge that.
Why do you then like condemn people for also because like that's the whole thing. Like,
because I don't want it to happen.
I am also emotionally invested in all of this. Like the Emporium has been, the Emporium has been like my, like the thing that saved my life. Like I am the person that I am right now due to like the people in there, like who supported me and like who gave me great fucking feedback. Like I am at like the current artistic level and like at the current like where I am in life right now because of this space and like I like.
Yeah, I mean, that's and listen, that's fine, that's great. I'm glad.
Like,
it's good for you, man. That's all I can say. Good for you. Like, you're in a good place.
Cool, but like throughout your entire video, you were like the first video of like the absolute state of the workshop. You were constantly going like doing this like. You know, your regular zesty voice, like, oh, well, why should people listen to me? And, like, I wish you would have given, like...
No, and listen, I acknowledge that I should not have done that. I shouldn't have done the little goofy voice. I should have been more calm and level-headed. That is something I do regret doing in a lot of my older videos, because whenever I do that and mock the person I'm speaking about when I do that, it undermines my argument. Even regardless of the validity of the argument, if you're posing it in that way, I concede that you shouldn't be doing that because it does detract from it, right?
Right.
I concede. And then after that point, I've done nothing but not do that. When it comes to talking about the Emporium, with my workshop streams, with reaching out to you guys, oh my god! And then when it comes to putting what you and beyond that, I've only posted what you guys say in my videos. I don't add context.
Yeah, but like it's often,
I only post what you guys say.
Yeah, but like you'll post like people saying like, oh well, it's good to work like efficiently on stuff, and then you go like, oh well, look at them being lazy, and it's just like
so now you've omitted the context to that. The context to that was this person was advocating for the use of existing stock images and clip art when, in my opinion,
that is what stock images and clip art is like. That is the purpose of it, and like. I mean, like, yeah, it has lessened now, and like, yeah, like the use of like stock art and stuff, like, I would also like discourage it.
Yeah,
but, like you like.
So we agree on that point.
Right, but like there is a big difference in going like, hey, like supporting people who do use like original material and like push people in that
Someone's
direction,
calling me.
or like going like fucking ape on like people who like a lot of these people are like baby's first war paint, and like you don't give them a chance to like.
Listen. I have to go because I need to get to Everett. All right, we've gone so far off the beaten path of what the original purpose of this discussion was supposed to be. Okay, and
Yeah, but like this is what's
and
finally starting to get like a little productive, actually.
yeah, and what's funny is like, why didn't we start here? Why did you have to immediately go to Twitter and then
why didn't we start here like 4 years ago when you got in all of this?
Listen, I wish I did. But that's not what happened. And now I believe I've been doing my part to do better on that. I've been working on being more cordial. Listen, I understand that I was harsh in the beginning, but that does not change my stances. Okay?
Right.
That does not change my stances.
But like you don't really have to like again, like it's not about the criticism. It's about like the like
it's
you
how
like,
I say
you,
it. It always boils down to how I say it.
It's how you say it. It is how you frame it, and it is also something. It's like, okay, you really like your food analogies. So like I'll put it like this.
Listen. I need to go. All right, we can pick this up another time.
Sure.
I will.
Okay.
I will close with. I just really do not appreciate what you did on Twitter. I think it was a disingenuous argument to pose. It painted me in the worst possible light, and honestly, I think you knew what was going to happen.
I honestly didn't know that was going to blow up. Seriously, like that is my most liked post on Twitter, and I'm actually kind of fucking mad about it because like I post art on there, and holy shit, I would very much rather people like support my art than my fucking stupid political takes on Twitter.
Well, congratulations, you had a good now you got a whole lot more people hating on me, so there you go.
Well, I hope you can convince those people that like you are not the
Can't do
the
that
person.
now. The damage is already done because this is Twitter we're talking about. The damage is already done. No one's gonna watch the entirety of this VOD. No one's gonna bother beyond the first 10 minutes.
Oh, buddy,
I'm only doing this to make myself feel better at this stage.
You're having an audience, don't worry. Like I've been pinged like a billion fucking times of every single person in the Emporium going like, Lettuce, what the fuck are you doing? Stop talking to this person. It's like
It doesn't matter now because it worked in their favor.
They think you like they have more faith in you than they do have in me.
And you know what? And you know why? Because I'm not disingenuous when it comes to speaking with someone.
Have I been disingenuous in this conversation?
You did.
Not really.
You were with that Twitter post, and that is an immense affront to me. And I don't appreciate it. I really don't. I don't appreciate the insults from you. I don't appreciate you trying to paint workshoppers as Jews with the implication of me being Hitler trying to round them up.
Okay, but I've already addressed that in our private conversation. Also, I don't appreciate you like on one of your previous streams like going off on me, saying also a bunch of fucking lies and never doing correction on those.
What did I lie about? Okay, listen. We'll put a pin in it here. We'll put a pin in this here. We can continue in DMs. All right. I just need to stop here. You and I can continue in private. Okay. Which is where this should have fucking started in the first place.
Hey, I have tried, but like...
You didn't try. Not in this case. You immediately went to Twitter. And to farm outrage. I
saw Everett and like
and took it immediately to Twitter. How is that being...
I didn't even quote...
Sorry. You quote tweeted someone else. You quote tweeted someone else who was referring to me. But...
Okay, I use... People like I use Twitter like it is intended, like to like just like post your thoughts,
and you attempted to engage in a conversation on a website that is the worst place for it and does not actively facilitate.
Hey, like, look, if you have a better, if you've got a better like platform than Twitter, please send me to
DMs. We can just talk like human beings. How does that sound? You wanted this to be public with that statement. there.
Yes.
You wanted this out there for everyone to see.
Wait, what statement? Oh, the one on Twitter. Yeah, I wanted to see that because like I wanted to see
So yeah,
like
did you not want everyone to react the way they did by doing that? If you genuinely cared about what I thought, if you genuinely just wanted an answer from me, you would have DM'd me. You've had me on Friends for a while now. You could have just spoken to me directly, but no, you wanted everyone else to see it and then to engage in a shitstorm. Certainly not to this magnitude. You didn't expect it, but you wanted everyone else in there involved.
Not really. Like I was just going like
Yeah,
stream of conscious.
Yeah, stream of consciousness, and you just contradicted yourself saying you wanted to speak with me, but the first thing you did is take to Twitter. So listen, I'll put a pin in this here.
I wanted to speak with you, comma. I also posted that on Twitter. Those two are like mutually like.
Oh, now these are separate things. Okay, you know what? We'll talk later. I'm gonna hang up now. Have a good evening. Jesus Christ. Okay. Let's see what Everk has to say. Look, I just really lost tons of respect for you and your community for letting so much hate run through. This is not strictly about the TF2 community side. I just genuinely do not enjoy how you seem to share a lot of opinions and talking points with people who want to ruin the lives of the other people who I befriended. I don't believe that I share a lot of opinions with people who want to ruin your life. I don't think that at all. Like, oh my God. I absolutely believe you need to moderate my community to do better. No, I'm not going to be controlling the opinions of other people. People are allowed to do whatever they want and think how they want freely. I'm not going to... It's like people are their own autonomous beings, all right? And they can listen to my opinions, and then they can do with them whatever they so please. But I will condemn people going out of their way to be fucking assholes. Just don't do that. Do not allow bigotry to be shared by your fans. Bigotry in what form? No idea what that means. I don't even know what that means anymore. Since my don't harass them messages clearly does not work. I mean, so here's the thing. By that logic, if I say, don't allow bigotry, how is that going to prevent these people, who obviously won't listen to me anyways, from going out of their way and being pieces of shit to you? That's not going to change anything. Those people need to leave my community or commit to change into more likable views. That's out of my control. Into more likable views that are likable from your point of view, obviously. But here's the thing: like, even if I banned these people, if for them to not communicate in my live stream chats or comment on my videos, that's not going to stop them from watching my YouTube videos. It's not going to stop them from sharing in similar opinions, and it's not going to stop them from being pieces of shit. They will still continue to act on whatever they believe is necessary in their warped minds to go out of their way and be dicks to people. I cannot control the actions of other people. Also, I do not actually believe you're straight up full-on Sieg Heil Nazi. And I do admit fault for everyone who assumed you specifically are one. Well, thank you for the apology, I guess, after the damage is done. Even in my original thread, I only put that title in your community because they do share extremely hateful stuff more than you. But when you put that in the context of my community, you're also painting me as the arbiter of all of this. It's me being roped into that. Again, it's like, I accept your apology, but even then, the way you implied this made it seem as if though I'm like guiding all, like, it's like, look at this fucking tweet you posted, man. To me, that's insanity. Hold on, let me go back to this fucking tweet. It's like you posted the tweet of all like the little Hitlers, like, we agree with the other Hitler that is Zesty. It's like, I do believe that you do not hate transgender or queer people. I just believe that you not publicly showing support for them and instead allowing your community to be run wild is deplorable and should not be supported. So the fact that I don't go out of my way to constantly praise people is deplorable. And because I'm letting people that I can't control, that we're going to do it anyways, that very obviously don't share the same opinions as I do, on transgender people, right? Because I don't hate you guys. They clearly do. We don't connect there. I can't change their way of thinking, right? I can't control that. They're still gonna go out of the way and be fucking assholes to you, regardless if I was here or not. I need to establish that your community are safe spaces for everyone. Everyone's welcome here. Anyone can come on in, it's open, and they can say whatever the fuck they want, shy of it being against YouTube terms of service. You know? If you fucking hate these people, you want to have a fight with them, come fight. Come fucking come get in a boxing match with people. It's like I'm sorry that I don't support you and your beliefs specifically. I just share what I think. I just share what I think. I share what I think about this game. I share what I think about TF2. It's like, I'm sorry I'm not joining in your mental camp. Everyone's not going to join in your mental camp. Like, also, unironically, I did enjoy your earlier content more. Workshopper's bias aside, I missed the weapon videos. I mean, I don't want to make weapon videos anymore because, like, what else can I talk about in terms of game balance? I'd like to, but it's like, it's all been done before. It would just be reinventing the wheel again. Also, personally apologize for any overwhelming, nasty messages potentially received in DMs or just publicly. Again, it's like too little, too fucking late, man. Oh my god, I'm losing subscribers over this. I've gotten so many fucking awful emails again. It's like, ugh. Yeah, and then you apologize after the fact. And listen, I appreciate that you're apologizing, but it's like it's just too little, too fucking late. It's exhausted me. This. Ugh. I admit I was hypocritical to essentially fight fire with fire. What fire? What fire did I come out of the gate swinging with? I just said that I don't think that these types of statements should be in the video game no matter what they are. I thought I was pretty cordial. I was pretty level-headed and calm in that fucking message during that stream. But now you viewed it as fighting fire with fire? I just felt like I had to publicly express my dislike for him and his community in its current state. I was not expecting it to evolve into this huge drama because, to be honest, most of my Twitter posts flop hard. Well, also sorry for acting smug on my YouTube chat. I didn't realize what I was doing. Try to be more respectful on those messages. Could have been way more professional in this whole situation, but I guess it kind of went to my head. Wow, maybe you should think before. This is why I stopped using Twitter. This is why I have someone else post tweets for me so they can, because I can't control myself. I acknowledge that. Like, if I want to, if before on Twitter, I would just like post something, right? And I wouldn't think about what I'm going to put out there in the void. And oftentimes, more often than not, it would come back to bite me in the ass, right? So now that I have a stopgap that allows me to think about things before I post them, that's why my YouTube videos are usually far more well articulated, is because I spend hours and hours and hours writing and making sure that whatever I'm saying is coming across in the best way possible, more so now than I ever did before. I mean, just, I gotta say, think about things before you post them, man. I mean, like, I'll relay the same thing that I undoubtedly think you'd want to relay to me as well. Think before you post. I'm sure you'd say the same thing to me as well, given everything that this has gone through. Did steer kind of off topic slightly out of TF2, but I think my point still applies to stuff that happens in the game's community more so than Overload's points do. Again, try to make it a bit more respectful here. Sorry for being smug and blowing it out of proportion. Thank you, again, I guess. And way out of something I could handle without having experience on these things in huge drama situations. Anyways, I do hope that I've now read the entire message. I feel like it's got way out of hand for someone like me to handle it. Honestly, did not expect everything to get this crazy. I would like to not respond further and politely just leave my arguments here. I know and do not expect to change you and your audience's mind, since honestly I know I cannot. And that's fine. It's like, we can, at the end of the day, agree to disagree on things, and that doesn't mean that we want each other's heads on a fucking pike. It doesn't mean that we want each other dead. Seriously. It's okay to disagree with each other. We don't have to fucking go knives out and, like, just claw at each other. Just, Again, I'm sorry, and I'll think about thinking more logically from now on. Well, again, I appreciate the apology. I do, but at the same time, the damage is already done, so thank you, I guess. Yeah. And now I'm a pedophile. Oh God, why do I do this? And now, great, people are gonna clip this because I'm getting teary-eyed. Fuck me. Because God forbid I get emotional when I'm stressed out. Jesus. Anyway, I think that covers everything. I think that's it. Too little, too late. Appreciate that. Ugh. So fun, so great, so nice. Just, so fun. Yeah, I guess I'm a pedophile and a lolicon now because I made a couple of jokes using a crying emoji. Yeah, and saying "cunny" a couple times, even though it's like it was all jokes that happened in the span of 15 minutes, and I had a crying emoji objector in my video. Now apparently I am a pedophile and just, oh my God. I'm in a relationship with an adult woman. It's like, oh my God. So that was fun. That was engaging. Tale as old as time, free speech, tolerance, or the simple human right no comments get misconstrued by bad actors and the ignorant who believe. Yeah, so. And it's like, you know what? I guess that's my lesson learned here, to just not ever open my mouth about these things. You know, just never say it. Otherwise, this is what I get, right? This is what I get. Reap what I sow. I reap what I sow. I get it. I reap what I sow. Yeah. Good night to both of you. So, well, I guess that's all I have to say for now. I think I've said my piece, and I feel like at least up until the point when we started talking with Overlord that I was pretty cordial and straightforward, and I don't know. I already know that people are going to take clips of this and go haywire with it on Twitter because that's just what people do now. So, yeah. And the VOD is going to stay public because what reason do I have for taking it down? I mean, no one's going to watch a 2-hour and 45-minute VOD in its entirety, so. Ugh. Anyway, I'm working on the hot takes video. I'm gonna try to get the hot takes video done this week. We'll see. It might have to get bumped until next week because I still need like 30 minutes of gameplay footage, and I don't just want like boring background garbage. So, yeah, I'm gonna try to get good footage for that and get that done for everybody come the end of the week. And I have another piece about the workshop and the Emporium there at the end. But again, even with that one, I did my best to be as cordial as possible and straightforward and not get emotionally charged. And we'll see how people take that. We'll see how people take that. Yeah, so I'm missing donations. I need to read them. Sorry. And YouTube is shitting the bed, so I can't see them. Sorry. I have to scroll a bit. First debate I turned into, handled it well and held your ground. Good to have these conversations as spicy as they can get. Thank you. Oh God, Koyuki posted nah haha in chat. No, I fucking hate that character with a passion. God. Anyway, I'm gonna end the stream there. So thanks for hanging out, guys, and I don't know.